Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout vid. So, before we get into the whole jibber jab, I want to go ahead and make sure the sound levels are okay. Make sure I'm not having distorted voice. Before we get into the whole jibber jab, okay. Make sure I'm not having distorted voice. All right, everything seems good here. All right, we're ready to go. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Red Glove Milton? What's going on, Rock 89? Yes, yes, yes. Let's get into it today, man. We're still talking about the epic heavyweight fight that went down on Saturday night. It's great because I've seen that, EJ Boxing Live. Shout out to EJ. We were speaking about this on my last hangout yesterday, and that more channels has opened up. Boxing channels, I should say, opened up due to all the Fury's aftermath, which is good, and it's a good sign for the sport that we care about. So, yeah, let me get into that, text and what's going on, man. Let me start off by giving a shout out to Julian the Hawk Jackson, Donald Cobra Curry, Buddy McGIRT, and Teddy Atlas for being inducted to the 2019 International Boxing Hall of Fame. Long overdue for the Hawk Julian Jackson, man. Long overdue. Some people were wondering why he didn't get in after all these years. I know it was kind of, puzzling to figure out what was going on with that. I mean, of all people, Toro Gotti, God rest his soul, was able to be inducted before Julian the Hawk Jackson. Then some people will question or even Riddick Bowe by that matter. Some people will question the selection process of the International Boxing Hall of Fame's selection committee, whatnot. But anyhow, doesn't matter. He finally has got in, well deserved. Donald Cobra Curry, same thing as well. If it took him a while to get in, he's finally in. Buddy McGIRT, which is, to me, in my opinion, Buddy McGIRT is more of a surprising induction. I don't know. I mean, Buddy McGIRT definitely had a good career. Yes. He definitely had a good run as a lower weight champion, whatnot. At light welterweight, whatnot, and so even at welterweight, he had some pretty moderate success there too. So I mean, he had he had some good wins. You know what I mean? You know what? I take that back. Buddy McGIRT actually had was pretty well deserving. You know what I mean? Let me take that back. Yeah, Sweet Pea definitely beat his ass though. He did. He schooled Buddy McGIRT. He did. But you know what? Yeah, Roscoe, here's the thing. Buddy McGIRT did beat Simon Brown to become the lineal welterweight champion of the world. So you got to give him credit for that. He beat Howard Davis. His losses against Meldred Taylor and Sweet Pea Whitaker. Yeah, I mean those were his Sweet Pea was definitely his Hall of Fame loss. Whatnot. He lost to him twice, but other than that, he did have Simon Brown, which is a good win, very good win, a great win. But other than that, yeah, he did beat. Look, I don't know that Simon Brown win. I don't know. I'm kind of I'm changing my mind the third time in a row now on this Buddy McGIRT induction. I know the Simon Brown win was a very good win, but I don't know. I guess I have to say that his Hall of Fame deduction is now kind of debated. Now it's a bit debated now. I don't know. Simon Brown wasn't the same guy. Yeah, I mean that version of Simon Brown that he beat for the Lineal and WBC championship. You could say he was in a bit of a decline because he had wars with Jorge Vaca, Tyrone Trice, whatnot, and Maurice Blocker. Those guys evolved. What's so bizarre about not so bizarre. What's strange about this is that Buddy McGIRT getting in. We're talking about Simon Brown. Why hasn't Simon Brown been inducted? Because that induction is long overdue. If anybody needs to be more deserving than Buddy McGIRT, then Simon Brown definitely deserves to get in at this point. But it is what it is. Shout out to all those guys getting inducted. But Julian the Hawk Jackson and Donald Curry, those were long overdue. Long overdue. But yeah, Buddy McGIRT, that's definitely a debate on his induction. Definitely a debate. I don't think it's more debatable than Riddick Bowe, but I mean, Riddick Bowe, at least he has some trilogy fights with Holyfield, and that's what got him in. So Buddy McGIRT getting in, maybe his win over Simon Brown's what got him in. I don't know, but that's definitely debatable right now. I have to change my mind on Buddy McGIRT 3 times on the same hangout, but it is what it is on that one. Teddy Atlas definitely getting in as a contributor, even though we all have our gripes about Teddy Atlas, whatnot. But I would have to say those that I have to say is that Teddy Atlas is a major contributor to the sport of boxing. Whether we love him or hate him. Let's see. Yeah. So shout out to those guys. Yeah, Ross Clyde definitely agree that Simon Brown should definitely be in that Hall of Fame. Ross Clyde say, hey, look, if Betty McGirt is in there, then Merrick Khan should definitely qualify. That's bullshit. Yeah, like I said, his induction is definitely going to be debatable, man. Definitely going to be debatable. Just maybe some will argue maybe it's going to be on the par of Arturo Gotti's induction, maybe. But let's be fair though, Buddy McGirt was a way better fighter than Arturo Gotti, and he has, and no disrespect to Arturo Gotti, Buddy McGirt definitely has better wins on his resume than Arturo Gotti. Let's be real. Let's see. Haplotype, what's going on, man? He say, whoa, is it 400,000 now? I thought it was 320. Yeah. Let me talk about that haplotype. Let me get in on that one right now about the Wilder pay-per-view count. Now, the Wilder and Fury US pay-per-view count is now is risen from 320K to 400,000 according to other reports. So it's still counting at the moment. This is only the US pay-per-view revenue alone. There's other revenue that needs to be taken into account, and we probably won't get those results to another couple weeks or so. So if it stands at 400,000 from the looks of it, if you do the math and the pay-per-view was $75, then that US pay-per-view alone did $30 million. $30 million. That's a very, very good number, especially given the fact that Wilder, being the headliner that he is, this is his first pay-per-view. He outperformed Floyd Mayweather in his first pay-per-view. In fact, Floyd Mayweather wasn't even the headliner, and that was against Arturo Gotti, since we brought up Arturo Gotti. That was his first pay-per-view, and he wasn't the headliner. And in that time, streaming wasn't really prevalent. Now, opposed to streaming being very, very prevalent in today's standards, Wilder and Fury did, perform my expectations, because I thought they were going to do between 200, 300,000, and it exceeded my expectations. So I would say that that's a very, very, very good number on today's standards. And the price tag of the pay-per-view being $75, that's $30 million in pay-per-view revenue. That's a damn good number. Very good number, especially this is Wilder's pay-per-view debut. But then again, I give credit to Tyson Fury as well, because Tyson Fury being an unknown guy in the US on many standards, or to a significant standard, I should say, him helping sell in the fight, he definitely contributed to that, because you have to understand, as a pay-per-view star, you do need a dance partner to sell that pay-per-view. And that was Tyson Fury for Deontay Wilder, just like Canelo Alvarez was with Gennady, just like Gennady Golovkin was to Canelo Alvarez when they did their 1 million buys on their 2 pay-per-views a piece. So you definitely need that dance dance partner to sell a pay-per-view, even if you are the cash cow. Now, does this mean that Deontay Wilder is a cash cow right now? Well, from the early stages, he's definitely is at a good start right now. So, but he definitely has negotiation power with the other heavyweights if they want to get in a fight with him. So he definitely has that on the table now. Now, as far as the AJ thing, I'll get into that in a second. Fury definitely has. Well, we have to see what the UK pay-per-view buys with BT Sport. That has yet to come in yet, but we'll have to see how that looks. But if you count that, the theater showing and the streaming on the streaming digital platforms like PS4 and all that, you definitely have to wait for those revenue to come in. And from the looks of it, since this pay-per-view did, and the techie revenue, we have to wait for that to come in too for Wilder and Fury, which I heard there's a rumor. I saw Fanon's presentation on this one. Shout out to Fanon, Boxing International. If you think about it, if the ticket revenue, if the average ticket price was $195, and I have reason to believe that was the case, and they sold over 17,000 at the gate, the ticket revenue probably did about $6 to $9 million. Yes, revenue. So if you ticket revenue and the pay revenue, they did close to $40 million on the revenue for the fight so far. So we have to wait for the other revenue to come in. If they do come in, then maybe then the fight probably grossed if you take into account the other revenue with the advertising fees, the licensing fees that they got, for the fight. More than likely, this fight probably did $60 million. What's going on, Southside Boxing? Salute to you, brother. Akuma's Deception. What's happening, man? He says that Fury promoted the hell out of this fight. Yeah, I mean, he did. Credit to Fury and credit to Wilder, too. I mean, they both promoted this fight. And of course, Wilder, when I mean by Wilder promoting, he said some controversial shit that kind of rubbed people off, had people, raising people's eyebrows or, what's controversial about the 400 year comment, not slave, the 400 years captivity comment, which I have no problem with him saying that because he was speaking truth on that. All right. Now, the fact is that this was a successful pay-per-view. I don't see why anybody wanted to degrade this. As much as you can hate Tyson Fury, as much as you hate Deontay Wilder, that's fine. You don't have to like them. But you have to like the fact that this actually is a good sign for boxing. This is great for the sport. This is very great. Very great. So we all should be happy, man, because now you have a lot more channels that's been open now. And shout out to EJ, because I noticed this myself too. There's a lot of new boxing channels that's been open because of this fight. Wilder and Fury's gotten more followers, despite what we all think about the result. Deontay Wilder got over close to more than 600,000 new followers on his Instagram ever since this fight, after the aftermath of this fight. Tyson Fury got over 700,000 new followers, maybe 500,000 new followers, or 600,000 or 700,000, whatever. I mean, they have, their popularity and their profiles has grown after the aftermath of the fight. And I definitely can't wait for that rematch, man, because they need to get that rematch immediately, man. Immediately. And definitely is going to produce more numbers. And from the looks of it, when I've been hearing on other reports, Vegas is really bidding hard for that rematch to take place. And of course, they can maximize more money for that. And of course, this obviously saved Frank Warren's promotion, if you think about it, because Frank Warren is a happy man right now. If you think about it, a very happy man, because this saved his promotion right here from this fight. And definitely he's going to be making more money in the rematch. So, kudos to the UK, man, because now you guys have another pay-per-view star. If from the looks of it, Tyson Fury, not just Anthony Joshua, now you have Tyson Fury as another pay-per-view star. So, definitely shout out to you guys, man. Let me see. Texas says, especially if this pay-per-view market, for those numbers, it is very good. I agree. Let me see. Yeah, Texas said, yeah, these heavyweights fights at the top of level are still big draws in the US. Absolutely. Hoplo types talking about Jack Reese. Say, yeah, Reese always have, M. Reynolds. What's going on, M. Reynolds? Because you mentioned something about Jack Reese. M. Reynolds said that, where is that quote here? Yeah, let's talk about Jack Reese using his own set of rules. Okay. Hoplo type comment on that. Say, yeah, Reese always follows the same knockdown procedure. If you don't believe me, go watch him on The Contender. Both agree to the ref. Stop complaining about Reese. He did a solid job. Yeah, let's do this. Let's be fair to Jack Reese. Referees do have the discretion to check to see, if the fighter is, has the wherewithal or the consciousness to continue the fight. Now, again, if we want to go back to this whole count, this long count controversy and whatnot, I don't, like I said, I looked at it again. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be very impartial here. I thought Tyson Fury beat the count. I thought he did. Now we could debate whether Jack Reese told Fury to walk in one corner then come back to him. Some people will argue that he gave Fury more time. But look, it is a discretion to see if he was, because that knockdown was very bad. It was very, very vicious. And he is a champ. He is a lineal champion. He wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, and he wanted to check to see if he had the wherewithal. Then fine, so be it. But at the end of the day, it was a great fight. I can't complain about the result. Close fight, not a robbery. I don't know why people keep insisting this was a robbery. It is a close fight. Some people can score for Wilder for 1 point, fine. But Fury was definitely up on my cards. But those knockdowns did cost him the fight. So a draw was definitely the correct call in my book. Let me see. Joe Host, what's happening, man? Not Rajai. See what's going on now. It's a new guy. See what I'm talking about? Not Rajai. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, man. He says that congrats to Jack Reese for collecting his last paycheck. Well, like I said, man, I don't think it's unfair for Jack Reese to get the backlash that he's getting. But I thought he did a fair job in my book. But then again, like I said, it is the referee's discretion to check the wherewithal of the fighter to see if he could continue. But it is what it is. Let me see. M. Reynolds says yes, but they are but yes, but he does make up his own rules. Yeah, he does. Look, it is within his discretion to do it. I'm not going to complain about the count, but what we could take from this, from a learning experience, is that the commissions need to get involved and they need to start making up a uniform of rules of checking the fighter's stability or their wherewithal or their consciousness to see if they could continue. McGregor, what's up, McGregor? McGregor says that, Dan, do you think Wilder versus White could be a pay-per-view in the US if it were to take place? That's a good question. Probably so. It could be. But I don't think. Well, depending if you could promote it right, because Dillian White is a talker himself too, but he may not be a talker like Tyson Fury. If promoted right, it could be. I definitely see it as a pay-per-view, but as far as doing the numbers that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder has done, I don't know. I think it'll probably fall a little bit short of that, but I still think it could be a good pay-per-view fight. If you ask me, I think it's a potential $300,000 pay-per-view buy if it's promoted properly, just like the Fury and Wilder and Fury pay-per-view was promoted. So I think it could be potentially a good pay-per-view bout in the US. And Reynolds says that, hey, my issue. Oh, Joho says that we're glad we have a real heavyweight champion now. Well, we still have 3 champions, so we still got to consolidate all the belts, including that linealship with Fury. M. Reynolds says, my issue is that he said Fury was unresponsive and he got up to his knees and yelled the count. Well, yeah. Like I said, Jack Reese, he did what he did. I don't know. But yeah, we need to. I agree with Percy. What's going on, Percy, man? Percy, we need to get over that ref situation. It is done. Let's look forward and look into the rematch. Deontay Wilder said the rematch needs to happen now. I agree with him. Anthony Joshua, that's an afterthought for the moment at this point, even though he still needs to fight Joshua. But let's not focus on Joshua. Let's focus on the rematch. And I agree. Let's see. Hands of Stone says that 400,000. Sources say 300K. Well, that was the early reported number from yesterday. Now today, there's other sources coming out saying that count has risen to 400,000. So if it sticks at 400,000, then it's definitely a $30 million pay-per-view revenue. Even if it sticks at 300,000, that's still a good number. Either way, it's still good. So I agree with you, Hands of Stone. Either way. Haplotype says they both agree to the ref. He is very good, and he is very by the book, and the same thing happens every single fight. With the respect, all the respect, get over it. Yeah, we all got to move on from it. Yeah, let me see. Haplotype, why would Wilder fight White when we can have the rematch? Well, I don't think McGregor is implying that we need to get the Wilder and Dillian White fight happening right now. All he's asking is that all he's saying is that all he asked was that would Wilder versus White be a good pay-per-view fight in the US? And in my opinion, say yeah, it'll be a good pay-per-view fight. Now, could it do the numbers as Wilder versus Fury? I think it could get close to it if it's promoted properly the way this one's promoted. So yeah. And Joho says, well, I think it depends on how he performs against Chisora. Yeah, that's a good point. Joho Smith, I meant the real heavyweight champion who are holding it down for us guys in the UK. Oh, you mean Tyson Fury? Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, that's your opinion, brother. I see what you're coming from. Hey, Emran says Wilder knocks out Fury in a rematch. Well, I think he's going to make the proper adjustment in that rematch. If anything, he's going to have to really pick his shots a lot better. I think he can knock out Fury in a rematch, but I think he's going to have to pick his shots out a bit better. He's going to have to be a little bit more busier. He's going to have to focus on the body more than just headhunting. So, I agree that Wilder will win the rematch, but I think it's going to I see it going to the decision again. But if he can get him out, he's going to have to get him out in the later rounds, other than just trying to get him out early, because that's not going to happen. AA Boston and Blunt, so even at 320, that's still equivalent to what AJ made in his first 2 pay-per-views together. You know what? That is a good point. Even if this pay-per-view sits at 320 or 300,000 buys, that revenue still equals, I think, 3 times the pay-per-views, the first 3 pay-per-views that AJ did before the Klitschko fight. So that's still good. McGregor says that 400,000 equals 28 million US dollars. Actually, it's 30 million, brother, if you do the math right. But it's all good though. That's not including the UK. I'm not talking about numbers until it's final. People are so quick to round it up, round down, agendas, propaganda all around. I just want to know what the real final numbers are. It's a good point, Red Glove Militant, but to me, I think the real count, they said the count is currently at 400,000. So hypothetically, let's say if it's around 400,000, maybe 350. What we can tell you is that the real number is over 250,000, which was the breaking point. So we don't have to go below 300,000. So right now, it's a good point that you brought up, but let's just hypothetically, let's say if it is 400,000, which I believe is going to be 400,000, a little bit more, then we're going to stick to that at this point. Boxing McGregor says, I was just wondering if there's any more pay-per-view fights from Wilder outside of Fury or AJ. Yeah, Brazil, I don't know. That could potentially be a pay-per-view fight, but I think that pay-per-view fight probably going to do probably around 200K. I just don't see it doing the numbers that him doing Fury, or even maybe White or AJ would do it, to be honest with you. But we'll see. But not every Wilder fight is going to be a pay-per-view fight. Brazil, I don't know. That's probably a bit of a maybe a bit of a stretch, but I don't know. We'll see. McGregor, I don't think so. There's really no other big names in the heavyweight division right now. I mean, yeah, it's all of interpretation, but other than Brazil, I mean, yeah, Red Glove Militant got a good point. Maybe Big Baby Miller, that could be a good pay-per-view fight here in the U.S., but Big Baby's got to enroll in the clean boxing program, and he's not ranked by the WBC, so that's going to be a bit of an issue right there. I think that could be a good pay-per-view fight for Wilder, but like again, that's up to Big Baby Miller if he's going to enroll in the clean boxing program. Come on, Red Club Miller. You want to really argue about the estimates? It's so fun. I'm wondering if Fury lets his hands go a little bit more in the rematch, can he potentially hurt Wilder? I don't know, but I saw him hurt Wilder a bit. Yeah, he did stun him a bit. And here's the thing about Tyson Fury. He's a guy who doesn't really he doesn't really commit to his shots as much. He's a low value. He's a bit of a mid value guy, I should say, but he does put his punches together. He does have respectable power as a heavyweight, but he doesn't have that devastating power. So if he does commit on his shots a bit more, then maybe he can hurt Wilder a bit. He probably can't. But he did hurt him. He did stun Wilder in that fight. He did. I'll give him that. Let me see. McGregor, how about the fact it was 75, not 70? Oh, you're talking about the pay-per-view number. Okay. I did do the math right. 4 times 7 can't be 30 unless you're adding the tax, which is accountable money. Well, McGregor, the thing is that they're not adding taxes on to this pay-per-view. Yeah, it was $75, not 70. Yeah, it was $75. You can't compare the first pay-per-views Wilder's been doing. Wilder's been doing this for 10 years in 41st place, whereas AJ is less than half, whereas less money where he had the first pay-per-views. It's a somewhat of a good point, Red Glove Militant, but the thing is that the whole point of this argument is that people are saying that the money or the more maximizing of your revenue is in the UK. That's the argument. But then again, looking at where Wilder Fury pay-per-view did opposed to the other first three pay-per-views that AJ did in the UK, the numbers here are much more. Given the price tag and given the ticket pricing and all that, the maximizing of the revenue is much more in the US. And this pay-per-view that happened Saturday night proves that. So it's not, so we can compare that, Red Glove Militant. All due respect. It is somewhat of a good point that you made, but we could compare that based off the arguments that the hardcores in the UK are making, It's all good, McGregor. It's all good. AA Boxing Blunt says that, hey, at 320K buys, it equals 300. It equals to 965 buys in the UK without Fury's buys. That means Wilder's first pay per view did double what AJ Froch Brook did together. Even throwing Froch's first pay per view first fight is still not equal. Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, to be fair though, AJ's first pay per view was for the British title, and Wilder's was for the Lineal versus a huge name. That's true. That's true. That is a good point. That's a good point. I'm not saying no comparisons. I'm just saying if we're talking about numbers, let's talk all numbers. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's fair enough. We just look at the whole picture. That's cool. All right, let me bring the guys in. Before I bring them in, let me talk about Adonis Stevenson and his current condition right now, which is I mean, we do have to I have to provide an update, but it's going to be very somewhat difficult to talk about this. According to this latest report, Adonis Stevenson suffered from severe brain injury. Now, even though the previous report indicated that he was stable condition, but according to this latest report by the neurological surgeon based in Quebec, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Mr. Stevenson is unstable, but there are some situations he still remains in intensive care right now because his situation is still a bit critical to a certain degree. So with that said, from the looks of it, his condition, if he does pull out, he won't be 100%. It doesn't look like he's going to make a 100% recovery. He will recover, but he won't definitely be the same fighter. And I hope I'm wrong about this from the wording of the article that came out on ESPN or Boxing Scene. It looks like that Stevenson is going to be in a vegetative state from the looks of it. And it's unfortunate and it's very frightening to hear about a situation like this, especially Stevenson, a fighter that he was. Even though I've been critical about his opposition over the years and his inability to make the best fights that he possibly can make, but we don't want to see a fighter go through a situation like this, especially if he made all the money he can make. He has a family, he has a beautiful wife, whatnot. But it just it's disturbing and it's very sad. Very sad to for a fighter to go through this. Let's just hope that I'm wrong about him not being in the vegetative state. But from this wording, this reporting that the doctors, the neurosurgeon, come out and said that he's a stable but in critical condition, that means that he still is somewhat fighting for his life to some degree. He may recover, but he won't. He won't. Not funny, but he won't be the same fighter. Hey Dan, send me a link and click on it, and it was eBay. He's ducking MOC. And you send me an email, Ross Clark. I'll get you on, bro. All right, so let me get the guys in here because they're waiting for a link. Let me get them in. Let me close that. Let's get that. Yeah. Shout out to you, Red Glove Middleton, man. Yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, you always got to keep your sense of humor sometimes, man. Even though we all have our heated debates, but it's all about boxing, man. At the end of the day, it's nothing to really kill people over. You know what I'm saying? Not literally, but so let's get the guys in here. Let's see. Who do we have? McGregor, Blood. I need to get Blood in here, man. Let me see. Let me get the other. Let's see. Guys. Let's get Jensen here. Let's see. Natty Turner. What's going on, Natty? Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Barry Hearn before the guys hop on, because he made some interesting comments here. Very, very Barry Hearn type, but he is kind of funny. Let me read what he said here. Let's see. Oh, somebody jump on before I can read the comments. Oh, you guys both jumped on. McGregor and Low Place. What's happening?
Yeah, what's good?
What's happening, y'all? What's happening, y'all? So let's see. So basically, guys, the latest count now is 400,000 pay-per-view buys. It is still counting right now. This is on the U.S. alone. So to me,
that's really
yeah, very good news, man. Very good for the sport of boxing, regardless if we don't like Wilder or Fury. I mean, whoever, but it's still good for the sport because, as EJ said last night, a lot of channels, a lot of new, commenters are coming in talking about the fight and waiting for a rematch. So we can't wait for it. So still good news, man. But Edge, no, I'm glad you on, man, because I got to get you on to this one.
Oh God.
Edge, no, let me ask you this: you still believe this is a failure?
Yeah.
Why? Explain. Break it down, brother. Break it down.
Like, I want to save it all for tomorrow, but I'll put something up. First up. Number one, their break-even point is 250.
Okay.
So if their break-even point is 250, that means that anything above that, that's how much they're taking home. So effectively, if it's 400,000, what you're saying, and they say 400,000 and counting, but we all know that it's going to be 400. It's not going to be any more because because you can watch the fight for free on YouTube and you can catch it for free on most channels. So no one's going to pay £75 to watch something that you can watch for free now on most online outlets. But
can I respond real quick to Edge? Just real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
Edge, you know the way you said 250K is the break-even point, so anything after that is what they're taking home, right? 250K is the break-even on their purses, how much it costs to set it up, everything involved in the promotion, that's the break-even point. So they were already guaranteed 4 or 3. So anything over that is a certain amount. Now, if you equate to the fact that this is $75, right?
Yeah.
Right, so $75 of 400K, that's $30 million, right? Joseph Parker and Dillian White did 550K boys in the UK at £20, or 11 million pounds at 13 million, and that broke even at 312K pay-per-view boys. So this is way more successful already.
I know, but look what you're comparing it to. You're comparing it to Joseph Parker. This is, by their standards,
you're going to compare it to 2 AJ fights. You're going to compare it to 2 AJ fights. We know what you're going to do.
I know, but you're like, what they said. Didn't they say this is the 2 best heavyweights in the world? Yeah, they said this is going to be the biggest fight in the world.
It was
confirm Wilder as a pay-per-view star.
It did.
Now,
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Really?
Let me tell you something. Let me put it. Okay, let me put a proper cut. Yeah. Okay.
We're talk about technically, he is the pay-per-view king, but that's by default. He's the only dude doing pay-per-view right now. So obviously he's number 1.
I can tell you why it's a failure.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
No. It's a failure because I don't care if 1 million people tuned in to watch. They tuned in to see. No.
All right, go ahead, man.
A million people tuned in to see you knock this dude over because they knew the story. They saw the promotion. They saw his body. They saw you athletic. They saw him just a glob. And they tuned in to watch you knock him over. And you didn't do that. You didn't do it. So therefore, I don't care if it was every one of us over here paid. The future pay-per-view for Deontay Wilder is a failure. If he get a rematch and don't knock him over, it's over with. It's over with.
And
Even
also,
if the
let's look at
star's
the
over.
history. Let's look at the history of pay-per-views.
Okay.
Every pay-per-view rematches,
I'll say
rematches always don't do well.
Really? Well, that is true. That is true to some degree.
Mayweather Madonna done 1 million. Mayweather Madonna 2 done 900,000. The Canelo 2 did less pay-per-views than Canelo 1. So Showtime trying to fool the public into believing this is going to be a bigger fight, more people are going to pay. There's no
absolutely. Let me tell you why. Because even you have a point to that sense, but they can still kind of offset that off the potential decline on the pay-per-view sales because they're bringing it to Vegas. Now in Vegas, you can gouge the ticket prices over there, and you have the gambling streams, and they're going to make more money doing that. So they don't have to ride just on the pay-per-view revenue.
Edge,
so
let's rephrase that.
Edge. Which fight did more? Tyson Holyfield 1 or Tyson Holyfield 2?
Good question.
Well, I don't know which one. I don't know which one did more.
You can bring up circumstances where rematches have succeeded.
I'm talking about recent history. I didn't say ancient history.
That's not ancient. That's not ancient. Just because you started watching boxing in 2008 doesn't mean the rest of us did.
Well, he has a good point. McGregor has a good point though, because just it's not always been that way. Because Tyson and Holyfield 2, that rematch did a lot more than Tyson Holyfield 1, because nobody expected Evander Holyfield to do what he did to Mike. And then when the rematch was happening, people were eager to see it. They were waiting to see that rematch. So
yeah, but the difference is between the two is that there's the only conspiracy that Tyson Fury should have won. Everyone knows that. That's
okay. So you don't think it's good?
I disagree. I don't think everybody knows that. I think a lot of guys actually disagree.
Okay, some people may disagree. I know there's some people that disagree, but then if you go and do the rematch based on recent history, then that pay-per-view is not going to sell.
Who are the guys that think he won?
Because in that era of Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, boxing was much more popular than it is now.
Who are the guys that think he won? Hold on, McGregor. Who the guy?
Well, Dan.
Think he? Are you talking about my? Cubs? Think he won?
Tyson Fury?
No, McGregor said. Is he talking about my Cubs here on YouTube?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
McGregor.
No. But let me just say this though. Let me see this. To your point, let me just say this. I think the fight between Wilder and Fury here in the USA kind of revolutionized rejuvenized the heavyweight boxing market here in the United States. In my opinion, I think it did. And credit to Tyson Fury because he helped to do that. You know what I mean? And Tyson Fury helped increase his profile in the States more so after that fight. Regardless of how you feel about the decision, he's a happy man. He's walking away with the biggest payday of his career. His profile's gotten a lot bigger. So now he can dictate how he want to call shots and fights now. He can do that.
I think you gotta pump your brakes and say,
wait. We be pump my brakes. It's a fact.
No, I'm saying to figure who the pay-per-view star is.
This is weird. This is weird. I never thought I'd see today me and Donna be on the same side and Low and Edge.
He's out right. But you gotta pump your brakes because you gotta see who the real star of the two is. And when they you just couldn't say so and so a star after him and a big name did 2 million. You gotta wait and see. We couldn't say Canelo was a star because him and Floyd. We had to see him without a name to see what he does.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Look, I want to say I want to say something that's very,
you gotta
very
look at Oscar numbers by itself. You gotta look at it when they the true A side.
Well, let me ask you something. Wait. Canelo, what did Canelo do by himself when he fought Lara and Liam Smith?
Like 300K.
Exactly. And how much would he did when he fought Cotto? Cotto was the headliner. How many did he do in that?
I don't know. I think they did over 1 million. Though. I really don't know, but they did way more.
Why is that?
But this is the point I'm saying.
Was it over 1 million? I thought it was 950.
It was 900,000 actually.
You making my point for me? When these two together only did what Canelo did by himself. So when they
not getting the point.
May I just say one thing though?
Go ahead, McGregor. Go ahead, brother.
Canelo.
Yo, you faded out, brother. Can you say that again?
Canelo was already a pay-per-view star when he fought those guys. He was already pay-per-view.
I wouldn't say that he wouldn't. He lost to Floyd, so people weren't looking like, yo, we gonna have to pay for him.
It was still his fifth pay-per-view, though. Lara was his fifth pay-per-view.
I don't know about that now. I ain't sure about that one. I think you're wrong there.
It's fourth or fifth, one or the other.
Canelo Floyd was his first pay-per-view in the States for us. So the Lara fight was after that. That was his second pay-per-view when he fought Lara.
Well, my point is that sometimes you, as a headliner, you do need that dance partner.
Sounds about right. Yeah, you've got a point.
You do need that dance partner.
Definitely fifth or sixth pay-per-view.
You know what I'm saying, Dan? I get it. They got dance partner. Both of them got dance partners, and they did what Canelo does by itself, basically. So if they're not, let's say if they try to put, just pick somebody, Gerald Washington or what's the light skinned dude over there, Brazil. They trying to put them on. Yeah, that's probably gonna flop pretty hard. So I mean, I wouldn't just run away and say, "Yo, we got stars right now." I don't think we got.
I don't think he's a star. I don't think he's a star, but I think the next pay-per-view will exceed the first pay-per-view if Fury and Wilder happen again.
I think so too.
Because they're much more talked about now. People who didn't see the first fight are talking about it now. There's a new section of fans coming into it. People are buzzing over it. They're talking about it. People are talking about it negatively and positively. It's good. Right. It's good for boxing.
But when people talk negatively these days, they stream your shit. They stream your shit. They got so much more entertainment than just you. They stream, like, you want them talking good, and a lot of the talk about Deontay Wilder is like, bro, I thought you knocked people out. They said you
and people are missing out on the important factor of why I believe personally the recent pay-per-views, the rematches don't do as well, because some of the pay-per-views is marred with controversy. Because when you look at it, the first Canelo Triple G fight was marred in controversy because the referee went crazy with the scorecard. This one,
well, you also have to take into account. Yeah, you also have to take it into account, Edge, is that they raised the pay-per-view price for that fight too, for the rematch, and they gouged the ticket prices for the gate.
What was the first pay-per-view's prices, Dan?
The first pay-per-view price for Canelo and Triple G was, I think it was about the same price range as Wilder and Fury. It was like $79.99, and they increased it to $89.99 for the rematch.
That's a hell of an increase. Like, people are like, oh, it's only $10, but when you're going up to $90 for a pay-per-view, and in tax as well on top of it, it's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous money. So even though the pay-per-view fell well short of the rematch from the first fight, they still made a lot of money on it, regardless. So I don't. Yeah, like I said, Ed, you have to understand there's a little bit of factors there. They gauged the prices, so that kind of someone turned people off a bit, but they still made a lot of money because the rematch was still anticipated either way. So with that said, I don't think they're going to do so with Wilder and Fury, given the fact that this is their first pay-per-view. I mean, they could gauge the ticket prices in Vegas, but not. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna keep the pay-per-view price the same for the rematch. I just don't see them increasing it. I don't see it.
So, do you think that the rematch is going to be immediate? Then Wilder says he wants.
I think it is. I think it is. I think it is.
I hope it is. I hope it is.
Now, I'll tell you what way it is, because Frank Warren knows the money's too good, because this saved his boxing promotion. This fight, it did. He made a lot of money. It did. Yeah, it saved his promotion.
I would go that far. Frank Warren without that fight's a sinking ship right now.
Yeah, without this fight, he would have been a dead duck over there in the UK. It saved his freaking promotion. So BT Sport is pretty happy about this. Everybody's happy. He's made a lot of money. Fury's made a lot of money. Why not take the immediate rematch? Why not? It's too much money at stake. It's too much demand for it right now. Vegas, from what I've been hearing, Vegas is trying to be a bit hard for that.
BT Sports,
there is a wild card at play. There is a wild card. Not technically, a wild card at play here. AJ's team could hijack any one of these opponents. Say, hey,
well, speaking of that, Barry Hearn came out and made some comments about this. Let me read this here. This is some funny shit. Not Eddie Hearn.
I'm waiting for this. I know where you're going with this.
Let me see.
Let's say what he said.
Barry Hearn says to Wilder and Fury, first of all, we run the show. You didn't even sell out. All right, and let me say this. Hold on, let me bring it up real quickly, guys, because this is some funny shit right here. Barry Hearn, even though he's a conniving bastard, but he's funny sometimes to me. Hold on one second. Dude, this part goes slow. Anyways, here it is. Barry Hearn to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Okay, here we go. We run the show. You didn't sell out. All right. So first of all, let's see what Barry Hearn said here. Promoter Barry Hearn of Matchroom Sport is laughing off any talk of Anthony Joshua not being the king of the weight class. Last Saturday night, all right, I'm gonna get through all this. This is what Barry Hearn had to say about the veteran promoter. Also rejected Fury's claim that being the linear champion holds significance in the weight class. He said, first, AJ's first choice is Wilder because when you're collecting the belts, which he is, he wants to be the unified champion. He loved to fight Fury as well, but for right now, I think Wilder is the one he wants. There's 3 or 4 options at the for us at the moment. So sooner or later, the fight fans are going to get everything they want, but we won't be doing any silly deals, and that's for sure. All right. Now, there's a lot to talk about. Now, this is a business. It's about money at the end of the day. It's not always it's not totally out of the window for Joshua Fury, but they didn't even sell out Staples Centers, and the numbers are relatively low in regards to pay-per-view. I see hating right now. All right. If they did the rematch, of course, it'll be much bigger, and the prospect increases of them fighting AJ. Now, when they get to that promised land in the land of milk and money, and when they fight AJ, then that's when they fight Anthony Joshua. So both of them need to stop kidding themselves. We love to fight against either of them. It will be great for the fight fans. AJ wants to be fighting the best, but not on silly terms. At the end of the day, AJ is the best heavyweight in the world. It commercially head and shoulders above the rest. I heard Derek Goff talking about lineal champions on a radio show yesterday. I have no idea what that thought of, but okay. At the end of the day, we're calling the shots. End the story. That's what I'm saying.
I've got one for you, Dan. I'm gonna post one right in the chat for you, right? And
all right.
you can have a read of that tweet too, because Barry Hearn confirmed something.
All right, let me look.
You'll like this. You'll like this. This was December the 2nd.
Okay. Well, first of all, to me, I think that's a bit of contempt right there for Barry Hearn. I think that's a bit of scorn, in my opinion, because I think they were hoping that this pay-per-view was going to flop. They were hoping. In his eyes, from his word and language, it seems to me he's trying to dismiss the fact that this was a successful pay-per-view.
Have a look at that. Have a look at this one.
Okay.
You got to have a look at it.
All right, let me look at it.
No, I mean,
No, let him have a look, Edge, before you start going off on your little tangent.
If Wilder start acting like a 50-50 joint, they gonna tell him do like this. Okay, well, fight somebody that ain't known like we do, and do numbers like we do. Like I hope he don't do that, because honestly, AJ done showed time and time again he is a star. Like Wilder
you have to understand. Well, here's the problem. If we're gonna run off numbers, you have to understand the UK numbers are the pay-per-view market, as far as the pricing point, is far more cheaper over there than it is here in the United States. If you want to do the math, the pay-per-view revenue is much.
Running out for though.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, you can run.
I'm running off the fact that he's consistently put up numbers repeatedly, consistently. Not one fight. Not one fight. He's not he performed in these fights too, for the most part. He put on shows.
Okay.
Wilder didn't look as great, and this is time number 1. Well, he got more to do. I hope if they start at the table, they may start 35%.
Well,
40%.
let's be fair. AJ didn't look good against Parker. He didn't look good against Takum, so it can go.
I'm talking about the pay-per-view.
Okay. It's pay-per-view. All right, but the point is that at this point, AJ is going to have to figure out what he wants to do right now. Focus on the rematch between Wilder and Fury. That's what everybody's talking about. He needs to. Go ahead.
Can I just talk like the pay-per-view thing, like when we're talking numbers, right? So AJ versus Povetkin did 1.1 million pay-per-view, boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In pounds, right? That's 22.2 million pounds sterling, or 28.2 million US dollars. That is pretty much the same price currently of where Wilder versus Fury is. That'll tell you. Outside of Vladimir Klitschko, AJ hasn't beat this pay-per-view yet.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's gonna beat. I'm saying he's consistently showing. Even when
you moving the goalposts, man. Why are you moving the goalposts, man?
I didn't. I never said it. I said he's consistently performed. I never said he beat it. I said he consistently showed that he is a star. This is and like I said, in the Povetkin fight, knockout victory. Vladimir Klitschko, knockout victory. Takum. You may say struggle, but he didn't lose a round in the fight. He struggled.
He didn't look good.
He didn't lose 10-2 like some people.
Don't matter. He didn't look good. He didn't look good.
Dan, hold on,
He
hold on, Edge. At the end of the broadcast, the Sky team was not doing what Paulie Malignaggi was doing. Paulie Malignaggi told everybody that paid for that, I can't even do my damn job. These replays, he didn't win the fight. That's what Paulie was doing. No, you got to admit, everybody that was watching that heard that and said, hey, they don't even, his team don't even think he won.
But that's the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing, yeah. Like the people want to make people believe Showtime and the guys there think that the public is stupid. That's what they want to believe.
Here we go, Edge. No. We're stupid enough.
That the public is stupid.
Yeah, we're stupid enough to buy. Okay. We're stupid enough to buy the pay-per-view for $75 and buy the ticket price that was averaging.
No.
Okay.
Now let him go off on this. Let him go off on this because I know more about UK numbers than he does.
Okay.
Like, no, we are hardcore fans, so we kind of will buy boxing no matter what, or we'll watch boxing no matter what. If it's like an unknown boxer or whatever, people who love boxing will watch it regardless. So we're fans no matter what. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the casual fan will hear the odd, oh, this is superstar, a celebrity's gonna come, or they'll hear the casual thing and then they'll tune in to watch to find out what's going on. And then if they like it, they'll get hooked. But if they don't like it, they'll tune and watch something else, right? That's how it all works out. So then when the casual fan and who may have not watched boxing before, and is the only chance of impressing that person to watch the boxing, yeah, and they watch it and they see there's a controversial result, and you're hearing people like Paulie Malignaggi saying, I can't do my job because I can't explain to you how this person won or how this person lost. Forget if it's Fury or Wilder or whatever view or opinion. Then how can they and then the Showtime are saying, oh, it was an excellent fight, we're gonna go and do another pay-per-view rematch and charge you again £75. Then the casual fans are gonna go, do you know what? Forget that. You con me out of the first 75. Why am I gonna pay another 75? That's the problem. That's the problem.
Well, in that case, the boxing would be dead as it is already. It will not be continuing as of today. How many controversial results have we gotten over the years? Way back in time, and people still tune in. They still paid to see good fights either way.
Yeah,
so
actually, Edge, could you give us some previous examples of controversial results on pay-per-view and stuff like that? Could you do that first, please?
Okay, well, look, I don't want to go all the way far back, but let's go to Canelo Triple G, and then we can go to this fight. That's just two recent ones I can,
Well, I could go way back. What about Whitaker versus Chavez Sr. '94? What about that?
Yeah, but let's look.
Wait, hold on, Edge. Where did that fight take place?
What fight? Which one?
Whitaker Chavez Sr. '94.
I don't know.
That's a huge fight. That's a mega fight.
But it doesn't matter where it's taking place. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying where it could take place in Japan. It could take place in space. The point I'm making is that if you're like, this is why the pay-per-views is not as high as it was before, and that's why Wilder's technically the only pay-per-view fighter they're fighting at the moment. No more pay-per-view because they know that is not the same as it was before because the fans are not. And it's the same thing with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Same situation. Manny Pacquiao, people was expecting a lot from that fight. They paid a lot of money, and then what do they get? A lot of people were disappointed in that fight, rightly or wrongly. They were disappointed. Some people, I'm not going to say if everyone's got the right to their own opinion, but there's a lot of opinion out there that people didn't like it, and as a result of that, the rematch is not going to be as appealing as the first fight because the first fight you draw them all in, and then the second fight you're going to make me pay another £100. I don't think so, and that's why.
Edge, no. Hey, that's your opinion, bro. But didn't you say that this fight wasn't going to happen? Didn't you say that?
I can tell you a fight. I
didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I can give one fight that had controversy, and then they told the next one, don't even worry about pay-per-view. The B-Hop and Chad Dawson, what B-Hop was on his elbow acting crazy and shit.
Yeah. Well, B-Hop, he screwed that up. He screwed that up.
Like I said, y'all not getting pay-per-view. Y'all not, I don't think fans we want to give you our money once and get the result we thought we seen. I can agree with you.
Well, the reason why they didn't get the rematch on pay-per-view because you only did over 100,000 buys.
Nah, they didn't even do 100. They let less than 50. They did Terrence Crawford kind of numbers.
Well, let me look at it right now. Bernard Hopkins
It's
versus
40.
Chad Dolphins.
40. It's 40. 40,000. But
Okay.
I mean, but that still helps to contribute to the purse somehow, some way. If you selling it at the right price, you know, you don't have to put up the TV fee. But I mean, but at the same time, like I said, people want the result. They want the first. I don't want to go buy one pair of shoes and then that I like, and then the tongue rip out of it and have to go buy another one. It is what it is. I paid for what I wanted. I didn't pay for the fans that did.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I think from the most part, I hate to call you guys on you and Edge. You guys been wrong for the most part about this pay-per-view, man. You guys can't stand it, man. You guys can't stand it right now.
I haven't been wrong.
You guys can't stand it now, so you trying to find a way.
Somebody asked me 500,000 or over, and I said under. Now that's it. I mean. I was right when I told them people on the LDBC that Wilder was too damn hype and excited, and Fury is about to probably go to his dressing room, breathe, and think about how to beat him and beat him. And you know, I'm just telling the truth. No matter what, he could have did all the numbers he want. He can't fight still. He still can't fight.
I mean, look. I mean, at the end of the day, it did more than what I expected. I thought it was going to do 200 or less, and it did 400. So yes, it did more than what I thought it was going to be. But let's look at the bigger picture here. Let's look at the big picture. He got 400 pay-per-view buys, and in to face one of the toughest, one of the biggest names in the heavyweight division. They threw the kitchen sink at this. They put them all over. They had Tyson Fury talking about his drug issues all over the United States. They had him on TV doing documentaries. They done this, you know, how many stuff. He was on the late show. I mean, they were doing everything, kitchen sink, everything for the biggest fight since Lennox Lewis. And
they're still promoting it. You know why? Because they're still doing talk shows after the fight. They're promoting their rematch, bro.
yeah. But then they did 400,000. So that was the peak of what they could have got. So you tell me, like, let's say they do the rematch and it does, let's say 600, 700. Yeah?
That's fucking huge.
You can have next. That's going to generate even close to that fight next in pay-per-view.
What y'all young boys talking about?
What's up, Battle? Yeah. Let me answer Edge's question. I don't think there's no other fight. Maybe AJ. I don't know. It could be, but I think AJ probably would do less than Fury and Wilder at this point, in my opinion. Here in the States.
Matt,
here in the States.
He's doing
in the States.
100,000 buys against Takam.
That's over in the UK. I'm talking about here in the States. And the reason why I say that is that AJ's not a talker. He's not a talker, man. He's got to sell that fight, man. And Fury can sell that fight. Dillian White can sell a fight, even though he's not the talker.
AJ gonna have all them belts, and them like, who is this character? He ain't gonna have to talk. He gonna have everything talking for him. It's true,
exactly.
But Wilder can do the talking. Everything talking for him. Them belts and Eddie Hearn. Man, come on, man.
Let's be truthful here. You know, even though AJ is still doing over 1 million buys, but those 1 million buys has been declining each fight. So how long can he continue to do 1 million buys based on the opponents that he's facing right now?
They declining because you started with Klitschko. That's what I'm saying. He had that great dance partner, but he's still doing over 1 million with no dance.
But they're declining though. So what is that indicating? What's that indication? That means
a unification fight might decline. The UK respect his belts. He was going on a belt hunter. What they do? 1.4. Then you do Povetkin 1.1.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask McGregor. Let me ask Edge this question. Dwayne's on the chat too. Let me ask you guys a question. Dillian White is expected to face AJ in a rematch in Wembley in April. How many pay-per-view fights do you guys think is going to do?
A lot.
Over 1 million.
1.3 million.
Yeah,
it'll do 200K more than Povetkin. It'll probably do the same amount of views that AJ Parker did. Maybe even more. Maybe more.
A lot.
Just for the fact that Dillian White's improved.
Yeah,
and you've seen who's he's fought. You know, like he's holding his main event, his own pay-per-view and stuff now. He's about to do second.
Dillian White's done 500,000 pay-per-view boys himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, don't be surprised if it's more than Klitschko. I'm be honest with you. Don't be surprised.
I actually won't be surprised. Dillian White's a really big name now in London.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
With Matchroom, then all these pay-per-view buys they getting, Dillian White selling out stadiums and whatnot. They need to sign with Matchroom, not DAZN.
Dillian White is a pay-per-view star now, so it's gonna his pay-per-view power combined with AJ's pay-per-view power. Then, and I think they're gonna try and make Usyk into a pay-per-view as well because he's done pay-per-view with Bellew, and now they'll put him in with a decent opponent and make that pay-per-view. And then that's how Eddie Hearn's model is gonna be. They're gonna try and make stars out of these heavyweights. So when they face AJ, then it's gonna keep that money rolling in. That's the plan.
Okay, fair enough. But you know, McGregor, you asked me this question about White versus Wilder US pay-per-view. You asked me about that. Do I think it's a US pay-per-view? I think it is.
I think it is.
I think it is.
I think it is too. I think there's enough. Dillian White's caused enough bullshit that the hardcore fans know who he is and they hate him. That's the honest truth. Because you hear so many American fans saying "fuck Dillian White," like they actually hate him. And so that's a good thing because
the publicity,
he's like the antichrist at this stage. They fucking hate him. They want to see Wilder beat him up. They want to see Ortiz beat him up. Hell, they'd pay money to see anybody knock him.
I think Dillian White would give Wilder a fight.
Yeah, I think he'll give Wilder a tough fight, but I don't think it'll be a tougher fight than what Fury gave him. Because Fury moved around too much.
It won't be tougher in terms of a boxing match, but White will brawl with Wilder. That is a danger too because White can put it on him. He's strong enough to. So
right. But like I said though, man. What's up, Battle?
Was that horse?
Huh? What's happening? What's going on?
Let's just. We're gonna have to go to the location, bro. You gonna follow me?
But
dude.
Battle's still to someone else.
Yeah, I gotta mute, man. Yeah, you do. Dude.
That motherfucker over there online playing video games and shit.
I know.
He caught a grown ass man thunder. You already know.
Yeah. Yo, you need to go meet me at the location. Let's go get some mana potions, bro.
He probably riding in the damn grocery cart on what's that damn game? What's that in the game is? That Fortnite shit. That motherfucker in a grocery cart.
I think he's playing Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
But for real, though, man, I think honestly,
off that video game. Go there 42.
Hey, for real though, I think to me though, it does. We have to bring up AJ again, but I think it does put pressure on him to take the fight with either Wilder or AJ. It's gotta happen.
But it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna put pressure on him. They're gonna put pressure on him, but they're gonna shut him out anyway because Wilder already went on. Wilder went on loads of flipping Fox television shows yesterday and was saying the same thing. I'm fighting Tyson Fury next. Said the same thing. He went on Speak for Yourself. He went on Colin Coward. He went on what's her name? Joy Taylor, whatever the hell her name is, her podcast. Yeah. He went on all that shit.
Yeah, he's gonna go on Joe Rogan. Yeah, I think he's scheduled to go on Joe Rogan's show in this week too. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they are shutting them out.
I'll be watching that with a keen eye, man. That's a good one.
Absolutely. But you know they are. Yeah, to be fair, they are.
I ain't even gonna lie. I felt nervous for Jason Whitlock yesterday when he said Wilder choked.
Jason Whitlock he's a piece of shit sometimes.
Right. He goes. It's the way he said it. It's the way he said it because Wilder goes. Yeah, you know the way Fury kept moving his head. I've seen that every time, and I don't know what just happened to me. And then Jason Whitlock goes, maybe you just choked. Maybe you choked. And then Wilder goes, Wilder started to get angry. Like, he did his angry face. He was like, there's no choking me. Marcellus Wiley was like, look, hey, Jason, his reach can reach over there, boys. He need to be careful, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Whitlock, sometimes he be saying things you want to punch him in the mouth. I'm like, dude.
He should have punched. He should have punched at that moving head he was talking about. Hey, why you want to hit Whitlock for telling the truth? You choked. You told everybody. That's the truth. He choked, bro. Why we do that?
I low place. I'm gonna tell you what. You got the Jason Whitlock mentality. I tell you what. You go tell Wilder his face that he choked.
Hey, bro. Why put the hands on me? Every bit of that pay-per-view he got. is coming in my pockets. Go ahead and swing a shot this way if you want. Go ahead. I'm gonna get paid for you scaring me and for you having it on my mind that I had to
Imagine scaring
Yeah, man.
me.
You need to remember, Lowe's a bad motherfucker, man. He's been calling out Chocolate Tito for the fight.
Chill. I'm gonna go to court and say I was scared of my life, emotional distress, and I'm gonna be stressed because I had to shoot your big ass. So you, even in death, you gonna pay me.
Hey, McGregor, you got Dwayne
Push your
thinking.
dumb ass wood swing on me.
Hey, McGregor, you got Dwayne thinking that I'm trying to duck you on that Dillian White bet, something like that.
Hey, I'm gonna go to the chat real quickly. Curtis Anderson says that here. Hey, Joshua has to fight Fury or Wilder. Eddie Hearn, the zone has been a disaster. Trust me and believe me. Eddie Hearn would not last. You mean Joshua would not last? Okay, but I start to think about that comment.
What was the comment?
Joshua was still lost, but the thing with Joshua is his problem is he's gonna look bad if he start talking shit now. You understand?
Yeah.
He's better off just staying quiet like he did before. Because if
Right.
you talk shit now, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you saw Wilder slow down last fight and the last couple fights. Now you want to start talking shit, blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
well, that's what it
he's gonna
looks
look
like.
bad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he did open up his mouth on Twitter and he got blasted for doing that. Like, oh, so now you want to talk? Some people are like, now you want to talk? Now you want to talk?
I don't see how Wilder got no win and nothing nobody do. This man just got slapped around by a dude that ain't been fighting nobody. I don't care if AJ start picking his nose and eating that shit. Wilder ain't getting no win because you can't, bro. You got your own issues to deal with. We just tearing down other people because this dude went 6. We were supposed to tear somebody down whether he got knocked out, whether Fury got knocked out cold, or even at this result, we still supposed to tear AJ down. It's a win-win for Wilder.
Let me just tell you something. Let me tell you something, Lo. You gonna criticize Wilder no matter what. Even if he knocked out Fury, you would still.
That's his fault, Dan.
No.
Hold up. Question. I
hear you. Hold up. You would have criticized him anyway. You've been going on saying that he has no business be fighting a crackhead. He should be fighting no cokehead. He should have no business fighting him. So either way it goes, you're gonna criticize him either way. So I don't.
Simple question: is any other champion in boxing fighting a guy that's been out 3 years dealing with mental illness, drug abuse, all this? Is any other champion? No.
Right now?
No, they're not. Nobody.
You talking about right now? Or are you talking about in history?
Nobody is. Nobody.
Talking about right now or history?
Today.
Talking about right now?
Damn it, Dan, leave it be.
Right. Yeah, nobody else. So you can't be like, yo, if he would have knocked him out in the first round, I'm supposed to be impressed. Nobody else getting a chance to fight people they supposed to be beating the hell out of. They actually taking challenges.
Well, this kind of reminds me because I like to use history as precursor all the time. Ray Leonard was on coke before he fought Hagler, blew up and weight out of the ring for 3 years, didn't take up any tune-up fights, went straight in the comeback fight against Marvin Hagler, a fight people thought he should have taken. Hagler lost that fight. So,
and that's why I call Hagler what I call Hagler. That's why I call.
So let's not pretend this has not happened before. Somebody who's been had a drug issue, come back in the ring and do what he did. So let's not pretend that.
Hey man, you went back how many years? How many years you just went back? It's been about 2 different generations that done touched 18-year-old. Boy, you went back. That's a long time, man. To forgive what happened today, man. We got fighters out here. Dillian White tried to pay you more, and you fought a dope head instead, and you look like shit. It's what it is, man.
So, hey, Brown on Boxing. So this is a new guy, Brown on Boxing. So you want to talk about these new commenters and new uploaders? Brown on Boxing says that Low Places a hater point blank.
Yeah. I hate the fact that they try to sell us this bullshit. I hate that.
What's up?
I hate the fact they try to sell us this bullshit, and then you know all they was trying to sell us was a big bad knockout, and they failed to give us that, man.
Well, you got your mags out of that fight.
My Cubs of the LDBC, my Cubs was telling me, I don't care what Fury do, he going to sleep. It's over with. He can dance all you blah blah blah. They was adamant about it. My Cubs told me all that was gonna happen.
Okay.
And I didn't.
All right, but you can't deny. But you can't deny that you got an exciting fight, even though you didn't pay for it, right?
Nobody exciting. I mean, it was only exciting that Tyson Fury was schooling the dude, and he was, you know.
you a hate.
That was
exciting. Give Wilder some credit.
It wasn't no war. It wasn't no. It wasn't no like edge of the seat fight. It was just like, damn, this dude can't win. He can't
Well,
win.
he didn't lose his title last night. He didn't lose his title on Saturday night. So why you?
He should be like a 6-1 underdog, on points in the next fight. Honestly,
well, actually,
hey, low place. Do you give Wilder some credit for saying he wants to be pregnant? Then do you give credit?
That's the best thing. That's the best thing he did all 19. I told you that. Hey, Dwayne.
No, you gotta give him some credit. You gotta give him some credit.
Dwayne. The best thing about these numbers is his future baby daddy ain't gonna have to pay no child support. Wilder got all the cake. All right, maybe that's it.
Well,
Wilder ain't no Dwight Howard, boy.
What does that mean?
Hey, you know what? Hold on. Mala, hey, Mala, shout out to Mala. He's a New Zealander subscriber over in New Zealand. He said that here, look, anybody would have struggled against that Fury that night. He's very talented. His talent and his talent took him a long way in the fight, even though he wasn't at his peak. That's a good point.
It's hard to convince people of that though, because I told people that Canelo would have gave anybody that trouble when he fought Triple G that second fight, but nobody believed me. They just say, "No, man, Triple G's a bum." Like, all right, fine, you believe that. And that's why I can't wait. All right, this dude just lassoed me. But anyway, I think like you can't. It's hard to convince people of that. Fury, he's the goods, man.
All right. Hey, low place. Curtis Anderson want to challenge you real quickly. He says, "Here, low place don't know shit about boxing. I'll give him a boxing lesson. The panel know who I am.
I know. I talked to Curtis before. Curtis know I know my boxing, but at the end of the day. This point cannot be challenged. No other champion, and there's 4 different titleists in every division.
Yeah.
Nobody else fought a dude that ain't fought nobody in the top 100 in 3 years. Been on cocaine, drinking heavy liquor, eating every day.
Why you keep using that against Fury, man? Who gives a damn?
I said I'm not using that against Fury. Fury didn't do no wrong. Fury didn't do no wrong.
Pernell Whitaker was on cocaine during the most part of his career.
Listen, I'm not using that against Fury. I'm using it against Deontay Wilder.
You are.
What, man? I'm putting myself in Wilder's shoes, and I'm telling you this right now. If I'm listen, Dan, listen. If I say I'm the baddest man on the planet, I tell you I'm the best at doing something ever in this world. Blah blah blah. And you tell me, well, prove it by knocking out that damn cokehead, been off the diddy, blah blah blah. I'm gonna knock him out, and if I don't, I'm gonna tell you I failed. Period. Now I'm gonna tell Wilder the same thing because he failed. As simple as that. You ain't gonna make him no better making excuses. You're not gonna do it.
That's the point I'm trying to make, because at the end of the day, people are making excuses for Wilder for his performance
during the later part of his career. Right. So what are you talking about? Tyson was on cocaine in his career. So what do you?
He got his ass whooped too, didn't he? He got his ass whooped.
He was still winning fights when he was on cocaine. Frank Bruno, he was on cocaine in that fight. So
Frank Bruno, and they didn't lose no 200 pounds. They ain't been dealing with it.
You coming up with all the excuses, but
you can't. It ain't excuses. These are realities. This is what he got to fight, and he failed, bro. They told him all you gotta do is turn the TV, just hit the power button. He was over there hitting the volume button, 3, mute and shit. Just hit the power button. They told him to go back. They went him back to the corner. Nigga, just hit the power button. He hit play. He rewind. He input. He retarded.
Hey, this dude, man.
I'm not a hater. I'm actually he retarded. I don't care how many numbers he did. He cannot keep it. He can't.
Why don't you give him credit for his first pay-per-view?
Because I know he can't keep it up. Why am I gonna sit up here and credit some shit I know that can't keep it? Why would I give your girlfriend come home faithful on day 1? Thank you for being faithful on day 1. She cheat on you day 3, 4, and 5. Fuck all that credit on day 1 shit. The nigga can't keep it up. He cannot.
What are you talking about?
He can't keep it. He can't perform enough to keep this up. Like he can't do it. It's just talent.
But this is the reason why I don't give him credit, is because this is the equivalent of, because let's compare it to AJ for a second. Like if AJ faced Vladimir Klitschko and he did the same amount of buys, we'll be saying the same thing. It's not good. because you.
What are you talking about? Different market. See, Edjo, this is what you don't get. Hold up, Edjo, you don't get this. This is a totally different market, bro. The pricing points are very different here in the States.
But he's not talking about money, though. He's not talking about money. He's talking about
you have to talk about the money because first of all, if the pay-per-view price was $20, how many more buys do you think you would have done here in the States if it was $20? How many? Honestly,
no. Yeah, but that's not.
If AJ was the same star, I'd probably say about 300,000 or 400,000. If he was the same star that he was back then.
Okay, wait, about what do you mean? If it was priced at $75 here, or
I just think
okay, let's say it like this: if AJ was the same person he was, and let's say he had about 3 or 4 fights here, then I think he could generate up to 300,000 because it would be a lot of people that would tune in just to see, because there's a lot of people know AJ from Tyson Fury, a lot of people know Tyson Fury from AJ, and vice versa. So if you're talking about the buys, I would say about 200, 300.
What do you mean, based off the pricing over here in the States?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fair point. Exactly. So so Edjo, you have to understand we're dealing with 2 different markets, bro. This is not the same market here in the States like it is in the UK. Believe me, I know the market very well.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. the
it was saying he wasn't talking about money. Y'all jumped the money.
You see, Lopez.
Well, you have to talk about money because first of all, if you think about it, if you keep talking about the buys, pricing point was $20 over there in the UK. How many do you think you would have done here if the pricing point was on $75 here?
Yeah, but you can't compare the money because Canelo,
you can't. You can't.
Canelo does over $1 million at 70. Mayweather
exactly.
Over $1 million at 70.
Of course, because they were on pay-per-view longer than Fury. Dude, Edge. They were. The reason why Canelo was able to, and Mayweather able to do it because they were on pay-per-view longer than Wilder. This is Wilder's first pay-per-view, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but the reason why they
I ain't gonna lie. At least Canelo looked competent in his loss, bro. He looked like he at least had.
Here we go. We be competent in his loss.
He had some kind of competency, bro. Like that dude Wilder, bro. That nigga threw a high 5 punch in the ring. We all saw it, bro. We all saw him throw that.
Wait a minute. We know Wilder is not a technical fighter. We knew that going in. Yeah. He's known for his concussive right hand knockout power. We know he's not technical. He's not a Muhammad Ali or Larry Holmes or Joe Louis. But the bigger picture is his profile, his name. He raised his name. The best thing happened to Fury and Wilder, and the worst thing happened to Joshua. You have a controversial draw. I had it 114, 112 for Fury. I had Fury winning the fight. Now, people saying it was a long count, but people don't understand that a referee, matter of fact, Jack Rice, he just retired today. He won't be doing any more fights. But it wasn't. Who's laughing?
That's an edge. Oh, go ahead, Curtis. Go ahead, man. He was just laughing at the fact Jack Reese was retired. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But anyway, but McGregor knows me. Dana, man, you don't know me. I'm very popular. I'm a member of the LDBC who low plays. Hey, wait a minute. My name is Kurt Sugar. That's what I'm known for. I was named after Burt Sugar. What happened?
Yeah, I said, that's what's up. Good to meet you, man.
Yeah, I used to be on Marlowe's Corner. Trey X gave me that name. Then I went to World Breaker Fighting. We on 3 times a day. I'm on 2:30 Eastern Time, United States. You can find me on there. People, McGregor knows me. Battle Rifle is always on the show. Low Place know me. They can vouch for me. I know, and I'm not bragging. I'm not arrogant. I'm only here to talk about boxing. I like what y'all was talking about. I'm glad you invited me on, McGregor. We used to have a show together. It used to be World Breaker, McGregor, and Kurt Sugar. And then McGregor, he left. But, I'm 52 years old from Newark, New Jersey. I come from a hardcore boxing city, 8th Street Boxing Gym. I used to fight. Okay. I'm a little older. Marvin Hagler was there. He from Newark. Then he went with the Petronelli brothers. I used to box with James Hard Rock Green, his brother Rashad, James Scott, who they used to show his fights on Channel 2 on Rahway State Prison. Gerald Hayes, we call him uncrowned champion. So, Art Tucker was a heavyweight from Newark, who used to shine, had a couple of big fights, but I just want to say, Low Plays, you had this thing with the LDBC. I like you personally. I used to vouch for you. I used to be like, yo, That dude knows boxing. Anybody who knows boxing, I want him on my channel. But you start saying stuff about the LDBC, you know, people got their strange quirks, man. I know that. No matter if they know boxing or not. And personally, I like you. But, you know, you shouldn't talk about the LDBC. You're a grown man. You can say whatever you want. But, you know, you being reckless. But the thing you got, I'm all over the place, excuse me. You got something against Wilder. Wilder is not the most technical fighter in the world.
Nothing against Wilder. I'm only telling the truth to Deontay Wilder. He is a
you
bad
got something
fighter.
against Wilder. You got something against him.
But hold on, wait a minute.
He was
Let me
supposed
say
to
this.
press this dude button. He was supposed to press this dude button. Nothing more, nothing less. If he failed, he failed. Anybody that can't deal with that, y'all stomach that with him. I'm not going to tell lies for him. I'm here in the same state with the boy. I could go see him at the gym. As soon as he get back, we can have a parade for him to say, thank you, Deontay, but we not. Because he failed. We're not going to go throw no parade. Because
hold on, wait a minute.
Home the
So let Curtis get in.
Right. I
I
know I'm not a Wilder fan because, you know, I love boxers. But the difference between Fury and Wilder, and I'll tell you right now, Fury is a better fighter than Wilder. He's better. Regardless if he stayed away, Sugar Ray Leonard was away for 4.5 years, and he beat Marvin Hagler. What you guys was talking about. Certain fighters can do that. Mayweather was out 2.5 years, and he beat great Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, Muhammad Ali, the same thing. Certain fighters can take long layoffs and come back, and it's usually the technically sound boxers. Fury, I believe, is the best heavyweight in the world. He will beat Joshua, and he will beat Wilder again. And if Fury was more aggressive, I told people this, he would have knocked Wilder out because he shook Wilder a couple of times. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. You know, a lot of people, and I didn't know Fury was going to perform that well. I really didn't. You know what I call Tyson Fury? His footwork was unbelievable. I call Tyson Fury the new Gene Tunney. Gene Tunney is one of my favorite fighters of all time, very underrated heavyweight. You know, the only lost that light heavyweight to Harry Greb, but you know, Fury impressed me, man. And Wilder has a lot of flaws. And Wilder is a great athlete who happens to be a boxer. Fury is a great boxer who happens to be an athlete. That's the difference between them. Go ahead, Dan, man.
Yeah, that's some excellent points there. Excellent points there. I mean, look, you know, people talking about Wilder being exposed, this and that. There, he had flaws already been exploited already. Spilka exploited that. Washington exploited that. It's been exploited. Okay, Aaron Molina exploited that too. That's true. But the fact is that I keep stressing this point. It's not always about boxing skills. It's what gets you through fights, man. If it works for Wilder with his style that he has, his unorthodox style, if it works for him, it works for him.
You know what guy? Dan,
one man we don't get credit to is Ben Davison.
Yeah,
he did an excellent job. Ben Davison broke.
Al Heyman got him through this fight. Let's keep that shit a buck. Al Heyman and the money got him through this fight. So I ain't even like that's just simple. That boy lost 10-2, and we ain't finna sit up here and act like we gonna tell us, man. You all you need to be is a puncher. All you gotta be is a puncher. No, cause soon you're gonna be a knocked out puncher. Soon you're gonna be somewhere concussed. If Tyson Fury rocking you and he not the puncher and he not aggressive, ain't nobody, everybody else gonna put you on the back foot and don't make the mistake Luis Ortiz did of leaning. You gonna be asleep somewhere, bro. You get knocked out 2-3 more years, you be knocked out already.
I can honestly say, Lopez, the only person I see knocking Wilder out is probably AJ or Tyson Fury. You know, maybe if he'd been a little bit better. So that's the only people I see him. So I mean, if it works for him, it's only what? I mean, if it's 10% of the top 10 heavyweights can pull that off, then that's a pretty good game plan. Then, in my opinion, at least, if only 10% of the heavyweights can pull it off.
And we finna look at this. I'm finna take a percentage on this right here. How many fights we done seen Wilder hurt or wobbled in? The last 2 fights, hurt and wobbled. We saw him
expected. It was expected. It was expected. It was expected.
No. He wasn't supposed to get Wilder versus no Fury. We're going to say in his championship fights, Bermain Stavern the first fight, Molina, Duhopper. That's 3 of them already. All right. And then we got Ortiz, Fury. Hold on. Ortiz and Fury. You got Duhopper's. Nah, Duhopper's and Molina shouldn't be rocking our world champion. Now, we're not gonna do that.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Duhopper's knocked out Robert Helenius. The same guy
that's Robert Helenius.
Hold up. Your guy Dillian White didn't even come close to doing that. Looked bad against Helenius. So what are you
just saying? It's still there's no excuse for you to be telling Deontay Wilder Robert Helenius need to be your benchmark. Like no. Molina, Duhopper's, that's 3. Okay. Fury, Ortiz, that's 5. So that's
Ortiz
1,
was
2,
expected.
3,
Come
4,
on, man.
5,
We all know
6,
Ortiz could do what he
7,
could do.
8. This man, out of his 8 championship opponents, 5 of them have wobbled him badly. Okay. When you say only 10% can do it, right? You being generous.
No, because if you look at the time he was hurt. I can actually understand. You say he was hurt against Eric Molina. Okay, when he threw the left hook, he was off balance. So, in my opinion, was he hurt? Yeah, probably, but that was just a matter of circumstance. He walked right into the left. When you say Duhopper's, I think that was a matter of fatigue. That was his second time going past. Going past round 10. Yeah, it was his second time, and then you have the fight where you say Fury. Maybe he did hurt him. What you say he threw that left hook. But if you're talking about really hurt, we've seen other guys visibly hurt. Like Adonis Stevenson. You love Adonis Stevenson, but was he expecting to get hurt against Fonfara? Was he expecting to get hurt? No, he wasn't. He pulled through and he got that win.
Good point.
Then you have other people who we can actually say was visibly hurt. Sergey Kovalev was visibly hurt when he got knocked out by a leader.
Who you comparing him to people that have won Fighter of the Year awards? Deontay Wilder is an amateur, bro. I'm not finna do it.
Wait, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is nobody expects him.
It's always a point. You can't compare me to Michael Jordan just because you're trying to make a basketball reference.
Bro, no one expected from far. Wait, no one expected. No one expected.
The man don't got the
listen. No one expected Fonfara to. No one expected Fonfara to drop in Hurt Stevenson the way he did in that first fight. No one expected.
See, but Lopez, think about what you're saying. Didn't people say that Kovalev's power was going to get him out of tough situations with Elite Alvarez? Didn't they say that his power was going to help him win that fight?
What's your point?
So you're talking about another guy whose power was going to get him out of tough situations. We already knew he couldn't box. He got outboxed. He was getting outboxed by
Kovalev can't box.
No. I'm talking about Wilder. I'm talking about Wilder now. So I'm saying if you're talking way you can compare it,
comparison because you're talking about Kovalev who can't box at all, getting knocked out. Plus he got power. And you say, hold on, Dan. Let me get in, Dan. You keep interrupting.
Okay,
you keep doing it.
All right, go ahead, finish up. Finish your point.
Can box and he has power and he got knocked out. Right? That's what you're making a point. So why would it not be so fucking easy to knock out Wilder who can't box and only has power? You just made the point, inverted point.
No, because look at what you're saying. If we're talking about a guy when they had Kovalev, who was expected to be Elite Alvarez, a better boxer by using his power. When you look at Deontay Wilder, we can nitpick it, but it's almost like you nitpicking Errol Spence. Oh, he was hurt against Larte. You know how very circumstantial that was when he was hurt. It was like for like 2 seconds. He never got knocked down. He never got knocked down or anything. The only thing you can say with Wilder is he took 30 unanswered punches with Luis Ortiz. That's the only thing you can say. So
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Molina wobbled him 3 different times, bro.
I'm saying it's very 3 different times.
2 or 3.
Okay. Well, let me just say this: the whole point of battle's point, and this is one of the rare times I agree with Battle, is that this is a boxing, man. Anybody can get hurt. Anybody can get knocked out. It don't care who you are, man. You don't take your opponents lightly, regardless of how tough you may think they are.
You're right, Dan, man. Dan, you're right. You're exactly right. We take certain fighters for granted. I done seen everybody get hurt, I mean, from Sugar Ray Robinson to whoever, Floyd Mayweather to whoever, everybody can get hurt. Every fight has its own personality. Every fighter has a style that they, for some reason, can't get accustomed to. Muhammad Ali had problems with Ken Norton all 3 fights. I thought he lost the last fight, got his jaw broke. Antonio Tarver gave Roy Jones problems. So it always happens. Even Randy Turpin was beating Sugar Ray Robinson in the second fight before Robinson knocked him out. They was gonna stop that fight. Carmen Basilio gave Sugar Ray Robinson. So it happens. That's the beauty of the sport of boxing. You have an unheralded, obscure guy that comes out of nowhere and can give a pound for pound champion a run for his money. It's the nature of the sport.
Exactly, it's the way it is, man. So making all these comments about Wilder shouldn't be in situations like this, dude. It's a heavyweight championship fight, man. This is specifically in heavyweights. Anybody can get knocked out. Anybody can get hurt.
I remember this when that man sleep and all these excuses, and it didn't help him be no better.
No one's making excuses. Everybody, look. Let me just say this. I expect Wilder to lose at some point in his career. I think he's gonna lose a fight.
You just seen him do it. Yeah, that's why you expect it. You just seen it happen. You ain't got it. You already saw it.
One thing about Lopez, he said he can get hurt this many amount of time because he's been hurt in the past by lesser known fighters. One of the funny thing is they can hurt him, but they can't finish him because
what did you just say? Lesser fighters. That's what.
Yeah, of course, but they can't finish him. Muhammad Ali has been hurt numerous times in his career, but nobody finished him except for Larry Holmes.
Lesser fighters normally finish. The lesser fighters normally finish. All the rematches, all these bum matches we've been seeing. Do lesser fighters normally win those fights? No,
bro. When it comes to heavyweight, yeah, they do. When it comes to heavyweight, was anybody expecting Dillian White?
These heavyweight, who? All right, we got heavyweights today. Luis Ortiz lost to a lesser known fighter, been hurt and wobbled by lesser known fighters. Did they finish? No,
they didn't. I mean,
what about Joshua? No. What about Joshua? No, right?
Yeah, he did.
Who a lesser known fighter finished him?
Nobody finished him, but he's got hurt in fights.
I mean, but still,
by which fighter? By Dillian White and Vladimir Klitschko. What's lesser known about those two? Those top 5 dudes.
Didn't Tucker House talk him bust his nose?
We talking about wobbled and damn near getting dropped.
No, I'm saying like when you're talking about the heavyweight, the top 5 hasn't really lost yet. But let's go to the top 10. Who has lost? Was what's the name in the Lucas Brown in the top 10 at one point?
Now we're going to compare Wilder to Lucas Brown because we know he ain't that good. Here we go. This is the point. We're going to compare him to Lucas Brown because we know what level he really on.
Okay. Well, it's funny because you brought up Stevenson. You brought up Stevenson for a second because the fight of the year got hurt by, at the time, was a lesser opponent, Andrew Fafara, a fight that nobody thought he was going to get hurt and get knocked down in. So, the point is, man, it's just unfair that you single out Wilder here. This is heavyweight boxing.
We're talking about his fight. How is he getting singled out? We're talking about his fight. We're talking about his fight.
I am telling you that this is a boxing fight. Anybody can get hurt. Anybody can get hurt.
I tell people
5 out of 10 fights.
I tell people all the time, Dan.
5 out of 8 fights he's been hurt in championship fights. 5 out of 8 different opponents. The ones that didn't hurt him are the ones that can't punch.
Yeah, just like Stevenson got hurt against Darnell Boone.
It's heavy.
George. Yeah, Stevenson got hurt. Hold up.
You know who didn't hurt him? You know who didn't hurt him? Overweight, out of shape Areola. Overweight, out of shape Bermain Stavern Part 2. If you take them out, them fights they shouldn't even had. The only people that really didn't hurt him is Washington and Little Bitty Spilker. That's not good, bro. That's not good.
Look. I tell people all the time, if you want to survive in this sport of boxing, you got to have a chance. It's a good chance that you may beat a good amount of people. But you ain't gonna last as long. You can only finesse it for so long before somebody touch your chin because you ain't gonna be on point and be able to block this punch or block this looping right hand. No, you ain't gonna be on point. So I'm just saying. No, I'm just bringing. Let me finish this point. So if you're talking about Wilder, I've always said that I've always thought Vladimir Klitschko's chin was very shaky, but he was able to survive for so long because he was taller than most of his opponents. So if you look at Wilder, he is 6'7". With the 82-inch reach and knockout power, how many people is going to be able to touch that chin before you say, "Oh, Wilder's been"? How many people is going to do it?
Opponents already touched it.
They didn't beat him. No, that's a point, bro. That's that.
5 out of 8 lesser opponents.
At the end of the day, though,
5 out of 8 lesser opponents.
Who got the nod at the end of the day, Lopez?
Yeah, it's funny though. You mentioned that Robert. Hold up.
If you can mention all these times he got hurt, how many times did you say Wilder was going to get hurt in the next fight? Did you say he was going to get hurt by Spilker, or did you ever say that Did you ever say that Tyson Fury was going to box his sock?
I have to say it. This shit happened. Why do I have to say it to act like it didn't happen? What that got to do with anything?
Because you was going on and on about how this bum is going to get knocked out.
Why? It don't make no sense for me to have to say it if it happened. I assess it. It don't matter if I predicted he gonna get hurt. That ain't gonna help his chin or hurt his chin. It happened.
No, hold on, Paddle. Hold on. I think you're just too hard on Wilder, man. I think you just need to stop having. You are being too hard on him. You're not trying to give him no credit.
I gave facts.
Got some news.
What's up?
Tyson Fury is coming out and saying he wants the Wilder rematch next, but he wants it in England next summer. So
we'll see.
He wants it in Manchester. He wants it in Manchester.
Man. Deal with that, man.
Well, we'll see.
You better stay away from that boy, Wilder. You better stay away from him.
Well, we'll see. But if the money makes sense, it more likely it's going to be in Vegas.
That boy low.
Yeah, but he wants to do it in Manchester.
It'll be in Vegas. He'll be in Vegas.
He'll be in Vegas.
He wants to do it in Manchester, Manchester United Stadium. It's about 80,000.
He knows if he has it in Vegas, he ain't going to win because the judges are like over there.
Well, I mean, the money's right.
What Tyson Fury should do, he should plan to beat Wilder. Just like he has to really convincingly beat him. He just can't get knocked down, which is like it's going to be hard to do. He just can't get knocked down. I feel like he can win if he just doesn't get knocked down at all.
My problem with Wilder,
no, but the problem is,
my problem with Wilder for the last fight was the guy said he's gonna outbox him and then knock him out. That was my problem. Like, if you know you're not a boxer, why are you gonna make that statement?
But why
I think he underestimated Fury.
Don't make no sense.
I think he underestimated Fury. I think he didn't think Fury was going to box that well. Nobody knew the weight loss, all the problems. But Fury, he surprised. He surprised the hell out of me. I was like, look at his footwork. I know Fury can fight, but you have to say he's a natural. For a man to be out and have those problems and for a one-punch knockout artist. But Wilder is a flawed fighter. And I'm going to tell you something. If they fight a rematch, if I was Ben Davidson, I will box Wilder. And in the later rounds, I will go for the knockout because he can get Wilder out of there. He shook Wilder a lot. I'm telling you he did. He shook him, especially in that 12th round when he got up. He shook him.
You want
to be fair, hold up. To be fair, though, I think it was a combination of everything why Wilder performed the way he did. I think the fact that he had he was over H's because this is pay-per-view. A lot of pressure was on him. A lot of people were there. There's a lot of revenue behind him. So I think it was the pressure that he was facing too. Is what
you know what it was?
No, I don't think so, man. He just wasn't good enough.
No. I think it was that. It was that.
Let me ask you guys something, everybody. Dan, hold on, wait a minute. Let me ask you guys something. On low plays, Dan Edgenote, do you think Wilder can make adjustments in the second fight?
No.
I think he can. I think he can. I think he can.
I think personally, if you're looking at adjustments Wilder would make, he would start faster. And he would basically, he would probably do a little bit of confidence. You remember how they
tired by the 8th round.
People are forgetting.
Tired and knocked out.
Hopefully, you're praying for him to get knocked out. You praying for him to get knocked out.
I only pick fights. I really want y'all to stop doing. No, hold on. I really want y'all to stop doing it. All I do is pick fights on what I see. I don't want to be looked around. Oh, you just what? No, I'm telling the truth. If Wilder start fast, look at this. He start fast. He never goes 10, 11, 12 rounds. Right. He start fast versus a dude that's going to make him miss.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on. Let me finish my point. Miss and pay. You're going to make him miss. You're going to make him pay. And then, but Fury already wobbled you about 5 or 6 times in the fight. Kurt ain't the only one that saw it. I saw it plenty, and I called it. So when he gets you tired and he start wobbling you, you're going to get knocked out if you start fast.
Let me ask you this.
I agree with Andre Ward for once in his life. I'm almost done. Well, I agree with Andre Ward for once in his life. Deontay Wilder need to put his skates on and skate the fuck away from Tyson Fury. In the story.
Okay,
This is the thing about
Hold on. Let me ask a little question, and you get an edge. When the rematch does happen, which we expect it will, when it does happen, and Wilder does beat Fury convincingly, no controversy. If he does beat him, will you and Edge know? Will you guys give him credit?
I got no problem with that. None.
I'm not asking that.
None.
Are you going to give him credit?
We're going to assess the fight, and if he does well, he's going to get.
look. Let me ask the question.
The first question said I got no problem with giving them credit, but he gotta earn it.
Okay, let me ask her the question. Let me ask her the question. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me
answer both questions. First off, is he making the adjustments? No. He should have made adjustments when he fought John Molina and he got knocked in the 6th round. But he didn't make the adjustments then. He ain't gonna make the adjustments now. Number 2, if I give him praise, if he performs and he does the fight of his life and does a Mayweather kind of performance, I'll praise him. But it's not going to happen. Let's be real here. It has to happen.
All right, just like you said,
Tyson Fury. Do we know if Tyson Fury?
Hold up, bro. Yeah, Ed, just like you said, this fight wasn't going to happen. Okay. All right. It's all good, brother. It's all good, man. Hold on. Well, let me ask her the question. Kurt, let me ask you a question, brother.
Yes.
Based off the projection, the fight did about 400K US pay-per-view buys. What do you think about that? Good result, fair result, bad result? What do you think?
I think it was a great result. They wanted to do 250 or more. I predicted 300 to 350, and the numbers are still coming in. So what I understand so far is that 400K, like you said, Dan. So it surprised everybody. Because I had a feeling the last week, because when I was watching the college football games and Wendy Williams, the commercial was all over the place. And even my wife, who don't know a boxing mouthpiece from a boxing glove, she was like, "Isn't there a big fight this weekend?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it kind of like picked up traction, and it surprised everybody. I'm very surprised. But let me say, I didn't think Deontay Wilder was going to get this far, because when I first looked at him, he was so bad, I laughed at him. I said, "Oh, this is another Seth Mitchell," But Mark Brilliant, you can only take a guy like that so far. He is who he is. He doesn't hide his right hands like Tommy Hearn. He doesn't set up nothing. He threw one right hand like he was swinging a tennis racket. His technique is very sloppy and terrible. Ben Davison, out-coach Mark Brilliant. Ben Davison and Freddie Roach, let me give him credit, because even though he's an overrated trainer, he said something that made a lot of sense. When Pacquiao fought Ricky Hatton, he said, "We're going to knock Ricky Hatton out early," because after the fight, he revealed why. He said Ricky Hatton cocks his right hand and Pacquiao threw a short right hook. In this fight against Wilder and Fury, Freddie Roach said every time Wilder, before he throws the right hand, he'll take a stutter step. And Fury was out the way. So Freddie Roach, Ben Davison, Ricky Hatton, they all did a great job with him.
This is what I mean. He's 32 years. He's going to be 32 by the time they fight again. He's too old to learn new tricks. This is it. This is what you're getting from Fury. This is what you're getting from Wilder now. There's no improvements to make. You live with ride or die now in his next fights. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And then you ask how much credit should he get. I got to be honest, man. I don't know if Tyson Fury can do that to the rest of the top 10. And maybe the Wild, I don't know. And it's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. I'm talking about the best of the best, like Dillian White right now, Ortiz right now. I don't know if he could do that to people like that right now. Maybe he just picked the style that was the easiest to beat. If you are tall and you can move your feet in any way, Wilder can be easy to beat. He don't like people.
Success with
no. Hold on. Ask Tyson Fury, ask Luis Ortiz if Wilder is easy to beat. Ask them that.
Well, I mean, look, besides the right hand, what else are you dealing with? Besides the right hand?
That's all you need, bro. That's all you need.
When you look at Floyd Mayweather all the time saying, "I'd rather fight a guy with a big punch," Andre Ward all the time. Yeah, the power ain't nothing. That's we see that all the time. All the time. People got power that can't win fights.
What, bro? Like when you talking about heavyweights,
power punches ain't the top of the game all the time. I don't give a damn what
Of course not. When you're talking about Wilder, it's very hard to beat a guy when you're getting hit at the top of your head. It doesn't matter. Like if the guy is just really bad or whatever. My bad about the background noise.
Yeah, you gotta fix that, bro. But go ahead.
And Fury didn't have to win the fight to win the fight. Fury looking good through 8 rounds.
He didn't have to win the fight to win the fight.
No, it's true. It's true. Put him in that position. The dude, all he had to do was come back from being a junkie. Come back from being a junkie and perform. Just
He
a little.
did, and the thing
Say,
is, he still got knocked down. That's what
he's
happened.
really good. He didn't have to win to win, but he won
Played-
anyway.
What do you mean you don't have to win to win? What are you?
He
What are you
didn't have
talking about?
Wilder put him in a win-win situation. Only that he did.
Hello, players. Did you ever see Adonis Stevenson fight Sakio Bikia?
Whoa, whoa.
No. I'm just asking. You know, did you see him fight Sakio Bikia?
Yeah, I seen him drop him several times.
Well, what did you think of that fight? I mean, what did you think, like Sakio Bikia?
I think it was years ago and got nothing to do with the fight we talking about right now at all.
Asking, bro. That's what,
Basically an easy fight, dealing with headbutts and shit like that.
it's a point to it though. But what did you think of like Sakio
Well,
Bikia's
tell me your
performance?
point. Tell me your point, then. Go with your point, because it has absolutely nothing to do with this fight.
We could have like just such a shaky performance and just not get stopped at all. When you're talking about Adonis, he was one of the heaviest healers. What was the X factor? What was the reason Sakio Bika just couldn't get knocked out?
Because he don't never get knocked out.
Because he don't never get knocked out. Because that's the thing. When you're talking about heavyweights, who has that type of chin? All the other heavyweights that had that type of chin has retired. So who has that type of chin?
Look, the boy just got up from the shot.
Oh, so you can't answer my question now.
It ain't too many good heavyweights.
You can't answer my question now.
It ain't too many good heavyweights out there. It ain't. But at the end of the day, his ain't one either. And his boxing skill is less than damn near every one of those.
Bro, when you look at most punchers have bad chins. But they last longer than what they expected to, aren't they?
Man, we're gonna see. When his ass on that canvas, we're gonna see. It's coming soon. I wouldn't doubt Tyson Fury knock him out in this rematch. I am not bullshitting. I would not doubt it.
And yeah, he took 30
Me neither, low plays. I'm with you, low plays. I think Fury can get him out of there.
Yeah.
I think he
can.
can.
Bringing up all this extra shit. We looking at Deontay Wilder, one of the worst fighters besides a punch. And he is the worst technical champion.
Maybe I need to explain to you what an example is. You're supposed to reference something.
Examples. We need Deontay Wilder to get better. Ain't no example.
I gotta say something. I gotta bring up this point. What's up with Phil in the chat? I'll get to Phil in a second. I gotta say this, man. Why is it everybody fixated on technical skills, man? Do we all remember Mario who blasted through Fern and Forrest, blasted through Andrew Lewis, better technical fighters than him, blasted those guys, and intimidated for Fern and Forrest in the rematch fight? I mean, come on, man. Damn.
They don't understand, Dan.
There's an old saying. There's an old saying. Skills pays the bills.
Yeah, Mayorga didn't have the skills, but he certainly paid his bills with the exception that.
Mayorga worked. Mayorga know how to find his spots. Wilder don't know how to find his spots.
Nah, Mayorga didn't know how to find his spots.
You want to know the funny thing about
Look at his work rate. Look at his work rate. How you gonna say he can't find a spot when he got a work rate?
You want to know the funny thing about Ricardo Mayorga?
Yeah.
When is he taller than most of his opponents?
Good question. He wasn't really never that tall.
We're looking at heavyweights. Most heavyweights, they don't even move forward. They don't cut off the ring. They don't do that. They don't fight like pressure fighters. Why? Because they're taller than most of their opponents. We're looking at Deontay Wilder. He never had to move forward because he never had to chase out of anybody. He was 6'7". So if you're talking about Tyson Fury, who's 6'9", that's the difference, bro. If he wins the first round, now he's playing catch up. Oh, I know I can't beat him on points. Now I have to get that knockout. Now he has to chase a 6'9".
But you guys missing one point though. I'm sorry to cut you off, Battle Rifle, but you're missing one point though. The heavyweight division, you can have a lack of skill and be an elite fighter. Is throughout history. Jim Jeffries was terrible, and he was champion. He knocked out the great Bob Fitzsimmons, and you got Sonny Liston and. Who was just a puncher, and he was exposed, of course, by Ali. And George Foreman was 40-0 with 37 knockouts, 42-0 with 40 knockouts when he fought Ali. You know, so it's different in the heavyweight division. Whereas a welterweight, you know, your skill, you would need more skills than power. But in heavyweight, you can afford to have less skill. Now, somewhere along the line, you may get exposed like Wilder did, you know, but, you know, I didn't know he was going to make it this far, you know, because he has no technical skills, man. You know, I'm serious. He has that big right hand and the good night sweet prince, and sometimes that's all you need.
You know what I think can be Wilder?
Go ahead, Phil. What's up, Bill? Go ahead, man.
So look, man, this is my whole deal right here. You know, everybody's saying Wilder got exposed, right? So, I mean, did Wilder not get exposed by Ortiz? What about Gerald Washington? What about all the fights before that? So this is, I don't understand what the debate is. Deontay Wilder is losing every single one of his fights, okay, to people who are superior boxers to him until he connects, okay? That his fighting style. He's not getting exposed. He is who we think he is. Very untechnical boxer that has a punch in the fight at any time.
Yeah, but he's still getting exposed to his talk.
He's not getting exposed. Ortiz outboxed him. You know, Gerald Washington outboxed him. He's not getting exposed.
He's the best though. He be out here saying he the best man on the planet. That is, I mean, it's just continue. That's all.
Let field. Let go for it.
If you do anything in life, okay, and you got any kind of self-pride about yourself, I'm gonna say I'm the best too. I'm not gonna be around here saying other people better than me. What kind of fucking sense does that make for anybody?
Okay, and we gonna just give them reality checks, and we can just give them reality checks. That's fair and fair, right? That's fair and fair.
What the boxers got?
The reality is he hasn't lost. That's the fucking reality.
Yeah, he lost. We saw it. The reality is he got a decision. But that's what reality ain't. That he, that he undefeated. Or that he.
Can I say this? Hey Dan, I got to run. Yeah. Hey Dan, listen, I got to run, but I'm gonna give you my email, man. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel. I like your channel, man. I like the vibe of the show. Thanks, low plays, we cool, man. Your boxing edge note too. Of course, battle rifle, McGregor. We cool, man. They know me, but I'm a subscribe, man, and I'll jump on another time, man. But thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Oh no doubts, man. Thanks for coming on, man. I'll definitely to go and subscribe to your channel too, man. You're welcome to come back on anytime. All right.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
All right, peace, brother.
See you later.
Yeah, but go back to Phil. I wanted to ask you something, Phil. Hey, Phil, the pay-per-view numbers came in, man, and it more likely it's over 400,000 buys. What do you think about it? It's good, great, bad? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think it's good personally. I think that's pretty good numbers. I mean, you do the math on it. $75 per buy.
Yeah, that's about
400 buys. That's a lot of bread.
Exactly, that's about $30 million right there.
Yeah, everybody's not gonna have numbers like a Canelo Alvarez. I don't think anybody can put up those kind of numbers besides Floyd. So for me, if you put up 400,000, to me that's pretty good for today's standard. If you're not, Floyd or Canelo or those kind of fighters like that, I think that's pretty good buy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially this is Wilder's first pay-per-view, and credit to Fury too, because he helped promote this as well. So Fury's an unknown guy, so for the most part, but now he's known after the result of it. So yeah, very good number, man. Very good result. So yeah, man. So now now we got the rematch to play.
Man, who was you picking before the fight? What was you picking and how was you picking?
I was picking Wilder to win it by late stoppage, by 11th round.
And he was gonna lose every round up until that.
Well, my prediction. Yeah, probably. I predicted that Fury's going to get off first. I thought he was going to outbox Wilder for the first half of the fight. I did say that. It did happen for the most part, but the early rounds were swing, so it did not much happen there. So I guess that part of the prediction was kind of a little bit off. But the fact is that Wilder scored late knockout.
Who on here picked the early knockout? Anybody here pick an early knockout? Sleep.
No.
I think I'm the only one here who predicted it would go all 12.
Nah, actually,
McGregor got it right.
When I went to World Breaker, I told them that. When I said I'm going to quit being a pest about it and wanted to see him get beat up, and they was over there arguing with me, I told them that.
Did you predict 2 knockdowns?
No, I told him he was going to get in there and beat him. And he got in there and beat him.
No, answer the question. Answer the question, bro. Do you expect those 2 knockdowns?
Fuck the knockdown. Fuck that.
We fucked the knockdowns, man. What are you?
I don't care if he got him or not. He lost the fight. I mean, he lost 10-2. Ain't no other way. He lost 10-2. Easy. Ain't no other way to score the fight.
I'm not actually going to disagree with Lowe. I scored a 10-2, maybe 9-3, right? But there were swing rounds in there. And when you go away from home and there are swing rounds, you leave yourself open. You got dropped twice. So as much as you were saying, well, they should have finished them, and you're saying, well, Fury should have finished them, at the same point, don't you think like both guys could have done better?
No.
Both guys could have put an exclamation point on this.
McGregor. Fury
I don't
should have
care.
did shit,
I don't
but
give a
man,
shit, man. Why are you so obsessed with Cook?
Fury should. Dog, you fighting the world champion of the motherfucking world, the baddest man on the planet, and you mean to tell me you gonna take 3 years off the job? Why there must not be no motherfucking what's
Oh
that
yeah,
goddamn
because Tyson
brother's
Fury.
name?
Yeah, because Tyson Fury
Y'all
was
always
planning
talking
to
this
fight
damn
Wilder for
blast
the last
classic
3
boxing.
years.
He must not be no damn what's that Jack Johnson? Cause this mother he must not be that. That motherfucker took 3 years off this crap, got big as shit, and Wilder didn't do a damn thing about it. He didn't capitalize on none. The only thing that
Why are you
capitalized
mentioning
on
the
his
Jack
shit.
Johnson?
Hold on.
Jeffries. No,
Only
hold on.
thing,
Jim Jeffries retired 5 years before fighting Johnson.
Whoa, hold on. Only thing that Wilder capitalized on is his fucking bank account. Cause that's all he ever been. A damn fool to make money.
Can I just say something? Listen, mate, don't bring up Jack Johnson and like
I will
people fearing him and stuff because Jeffries took 5 years off before fighting fucking Johnson in 1910. Don't bring him up if you don't know the history. Come on, get out.
Let McGregor finish.
What's the difference? 3 or 5? It's a long fucking time. You're not supposed to do that shit and come back.
But Jeffries did. Jeffries did it. Jeffries did it. You can't go comparing that era to this era. Come on. Everybody fought anybody. They would fight constantly if they were even allowed to fight one another. There was a lot of stipulations back then that would stop things. Black fighters weren't even allowed to start until the middle rounds.
He shouldn't have got his ass whooped. Ain't no excuse about it. The boy got his ass.
Marvin Hagler shouldn't have got his ass whooped by
shouldn't have. How many times have I debated people on that man fucking failed and he retired out of shame? He sure shouldn't have. He sure shouldn't have. He retired out of shame. I don't fuck with Marvin Hagler. I don't like him. I think he's a sour personality. He is the definition of fucking nothing. I quit.
So let me get this straight. So Marquez, hold on. So Marquez should be ashamed of not being a 2 year out of Floyd Mayweather.
He was coming up to
doesn't matter. But he was
an even fight.
Wait, hold up. Hold up. No, listen. You gotta listen to me. First of all, so Floyd was out of the ring for 2 years. He comes back.
Marquez coming up 2 weights.
So it doesn't matter. Ricardo Mayorga.
How doesn't it matter?
So hold up. So Ricardo Mayorga feel ashamed because he was fighting Felix Trinidad, who blew it up in weight, out of the ring for 3 years, who was up to 200 pounds, and he got beat up by Felix Trinidad, right?
Ricardo Mayorga is come on, man. You know the difference.
Excuses.
Yeah, what's up, AA? What's up, AA? Yeah, go ahead. AA. What's up, man?
Hey, hold up. I want to say something real quick. Yeah. I don't hear none of this excuse. I don't hear none of this excuses about Wilder saying, "Oh, I was under pressure" and that. Because is he not the same guy who says when he gets in the ring, his soul leaves his body and all that shit?
You know what he was thinking about? Y'all ever heard that song? "Sex is on my mind. Sex is on my mind." That song, AJ on my mind. That's what he think about.
Look, listen, we all know sex is on your mind. You were doing a stream 2 minutes promoting X video.
That motherfucker went to the ring.
You were promoting X video on your stream, bro.
he did so many things thinking about pay-per-view. He walked to the ring thinking about how much money he was gonna make because it's all it ever was. It was a money grab. He do that right. I told you they told that motherfucker hit the power button and he hit the goddamn 9. He changed the channel he retarded. It is what it is.
Yeah, now go ahead.
Let me say.
Hold on, no, battle. Go ahead, hey, get in the battle. After
everybody shut that fuck up.
Yeah, I heard that, Dan. I heard
you
that.
You shut the fuck up, you cheeky bastard.
I'll come up.
You talking to me, McGregor?
No.
I'm talking to the other person who speaks the same language as me.
Go ahead, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, say what you want to say, man.
I must be the only person in the world who's actually disappointed in Tyson Fury's performance. I bet Tyson Fury to win by knockout. I expected Tyson Fury to actually be better than he was, which sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I've followed Tyson Fury close, and he's just had an 18-month training camp. Like, he wasn't going to get any fitter. He wasn't going to get any better than he was. Like that was. I believe that's the best Tyson Fury we're ever going to see. He's not going to get any better than that. Nah. He really won't. He won't.
Yeah, he will.
I can't see it.
How low? How's he going to get better?
Bro, you taking a lot out of you. Talking about you taking so much out of it. You said an 8-month training camp. People don't fight. They don't train not to fight. They train to get into fights and take breaks and get that whole thing going, bro. It's a whole thing you got to get into. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the best. Training camp just ain't gonna make you great. Not training camp alone. You want fights.
But I'm gonna be the one person to say that I actually agree with AA, because if you can do like what Tyson Fury did, and pull off like a good fighting class, like master class. Not I don't want to say it's a master class, but he did what he was supposed to do, and I think he could have did a little bit more because, like you said, he was hurt, and like I said, I expected Bivol to knock out Gene Pascal, but he didn't. But like I said, Tyson Fury, he did what he was supposed to do. But what I was trying to say is, I think Tyson Fury can actually beat Wilder by knockout. But if he does a few things, if he capitalized on his jab, because Wilder has been knocked out. He said, "Oh, it's the amateurs," but he got knocked out. He touched the canvas. The dude found out that Wilder had a really lazy jab, and he capitalized on it. If you see that little amateur footage when the dude knocked him on his butt, he knocked him down and he just kept tagging him on right in the button. So I think Tyson Fury can capitalize on that. He's tall enough and he can do it.
Look, Tyson Fury's no silly. Tyson Fury knew he needed to go to America and win 10 rounds clear. He needed to win 10 rounds clear to get a decision. But you can't win 10 rounds clear and get knocked down in 2 rounds and win. Like that. It doesn't work like that. Like, you don't go away as a challenger, get knocked down twice, get the decision. Like, that's boxing. You can win 10 rounds all you want, but if you get put in your arse twice,
Chris Algieri did it.
Look. Hey, I got different opinion about that. So look, check this out. When people say Tyson
Chris Algieri got knocked down 6.
All right, let Phil finish. Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, brother. Finish up.
This is my whole deal right here. People say, Tyson Fury did what he had to do, right? People say he boxed great, and he did box great. But to me personally, if you go into the 12th round, okay, and you've been pretty much dominating the whole fight on point, how the fuck do you come in and get knocked out in the last round? To me, you're not doing what you need to do, okay? All you had to do is play that round safe, okay? Don't make any stupid decisions, and you get out of there. And then, if you don't get the decision, then people really could start screaming, "This is a possible robbery." To me, he didn't do what he needed to do. The 12th round, he didn't fight smart, okay? And for somebody to go into camp and have an 18-month camp, bring in all these different trainers, I don't think his corner helped him at all either in that 12th round.
Hey, Chris Algieri got knocked down twice and took the belt. So shit, I believe.
Hey, will you shut the fuck up about Algieri? Fuck's sake! You're gonna give me a fucking aneurysm if you keep bringing up that bum.
He did as well. So I have no reservations about Tyson Fury doing the same thing. Knockdowns don't win.
Hey, the thing is, bro.
Hold on, one at a time.
Rounds in the bag when you fight, and Wilder didn't put no rounds in the bag.
All right, Phil, go ahead, Phil.
You can bring up different fights from years of past, but the fact of the matter is, he shouldn't have got knocked down in that last round. I don't care about no other fight.
Cold kid coming out 3 years later. How you gonna tell him to not get knocked down? How you gonna tell him?
But Lo, I'm gonna be real with you. As an athlete, right? Okay, I don't know if you play sports, but as an athlete, if you go out there, no matter what situation you going in and you play, you are saying that you are capable of performing at the highest level.
No, you're not. No, you're not. That's not true.
I don't care what he went through before that. I
don't. Can I talk to Phil real quick? Can I talk to Phil real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
Like, okay, bro. You're an athlete, right? I used to box. Do you know what it's like when you're in there with a guy who can actually knock you out in any second of any round?
What's your question?
You there?
What's your question?
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Do you know what it's like when you're in there with a guy, right, who can knock you out of any second of any round? Do you know what that's like?
Yes.
Right. So you can have your mind screwed on 100% of the time. It doesn't matter if you fight perfectly against the guy who can legitimately one punch drop you, because he can swing randomly and still catch you. You can go and read one punch and another punch can come in. And when he was dodging in that 12th round, that left hand that first came in, the right came in instantly as he came over and dipped. And that's what happened. He played as safe as you can in the situation he was in, and he got fucking cremated onto the left after the right cut.
I told y'all he was gonna get knocked down like that.
I don't think so,
predict
man.
that.
I don't think he played it safe, man. I do not think he played it safe in that round. I mean, you know, that's all up to who. You know, that's your opinion on that. You know, we're not gonna get nowhere.
Well, I mean, when someone pushes and applies the pressure in that situation, you have two moves you can make. You can either spin him and leave yourself off balance, or you can dip out to the side. And he did the latter. And when he did the latter, he got caught.
Yeah, and that happens.
He was gonna bend down and get hit in the back.
Hey, Dan, I almost got your channel. I almost got your channel flagged, bro. I almost played that rock soundboard when McGregor said it doesn't matter.
oh yeah, don't do that. I don't want no.
Nah, man, I got my video taken down. And I got a fucking 1 week's hiatus.
Oh yikes!
So
yeah,
McGregor,
I got suspended over Wilder and thing.
So yeah, I gotta be careful now.
That's what I did.
Yo, what you trying to say, Phil? Phil, what you trying to say, bro?
I punched to the back of the head, sort of, because he's gonna be ducking, and he did with that right hand. That shit hit him right in the back of the head, but it wasn't Wilder's fault. He was ducking it, and that's what happened.
So yeah, you making excuses, man. Look, the fact is, I'm looking forward to.
I didn't say that was an excuse. It wasn't Wilder's fault. Fury ducked the right hand, and the straight right hand hit him.
You remember when Diego Corrales fought that Brazilian dude?
Acelino Freitas.
He's outboxing the dude, and then he got knocked out. See, that's what happens in boxing, bro. That really happens.
That's true.
That happens. What were you gonna say there, Phil?
Phil, you gonna say something, brother? Phil?
Yeah, no, I was saying McGregor. I mean, I completely agree with you on that. I mean, well, let me say this. I can't disagree with you on that. So, because I mean, you can sit here and we can analyze it from sitting at home. I think he could have personally got on his bicycle a little more. You know, a lot of people don't like that in the 12th round, but when you in a fight like that, guess what? If you're dominating a fight like that, and I think everybody's safe to say people know that Tyson Fury outboxed Wilder. You go into the 12th round, you don't have to be the aggressor. You don't have to sit there and try to box with Wilder for the last round. You know, you go in there, you win the round, you don't make any stupid decisions, and you get out of there, and you're the champion. And we're not even having this conversation at that point.
But no, there's
something I want to comment on. There's something I do want to comment on.
I won't disagree with you on that. Yeah, he could have did a lot of things different in that round.
Phil, you gotta remember Tyson Fury only 28 years old, been out the game 3 years.
30,
hold
30,
on. Well, yes, 29.
30.
Okay. I thought it was 29.
I want to comment on one thing though, because Dan can attest.
Hold on, McGregor, hold on.
Well, yeah, let Low finish it, and McGregor, you get back in.
He don't got a lot of big fight experience. You got to remember that he been out the game 3 years. All the big fight experience he was supposed to have was Klitschko and progress on through there. He threw that in the trash. You thinking like Floyd Mayweather being there? You know what I'm saying? You think about a seasoned fighter. He ain't that. He made the same mistake with Klitschko. He was hurt late in that fight too.
Can I talk about something that hasn't been highlighted yet?
Well, hold on, Phil. Phil, hold up. Let McGregor come in, then you come in after McGregor. Go ahead, McGregor.
In that 12th round, and you were there, I was there, right? The atmosphere in there was so fucking tense before that knockdown. Like you could feel people from a mile away. It was so fucking rigid, right? And you could feel both of the fighters. You could see them both getting more tense. Their bodies tensing up as that 12th round. Even when they came out and tried to loosen up, they were tense. You could feel it. It was almost as though you could feel their heart beating from about like 20, 30 rows away, right?
Right, absolutely.
Like, that's what I was experiencing anyway. My heart was going. I could feel that. I could feel people next to me. I could feel people's hearts beating. And when Wilder started applying pressure, it got even more tense. And there was more room.
You can tell Wilder was tense too, because as soon as he got that knockout, he did a little shimmy. He was like, ooh.
But when he got back up, and you saw his face, that was it.
Yeah, he like, what?
It was like
the hell?
Fucking hell. And I couldn't see his face from where I was because I was at the back. I was at the back of his head when he did face. I got the replay, but I remember feeling his body just dropped, not his face, but his body dropped. His language and his body dropped after the shimmy when Fury got up.
Yeah, because he was tired. He was like, "Oh man, I gotta go back to work." You know.
Yeah, and that was a huge part of that fight. It was tense in there. The crowd, I think we can both agree that was a great crowd.
That was an excellent crowd. Excellent crowd. There was guys sitting right next to me. Is like, man, after Wilder scored that knockdown, one guy said to me, "I think Wilder won by split decision." I was like, "Nah, I think it was a draw."
Did y'all meet each other?
No,
we didn't actually.
No, we didn't meet each other, but there was guys sitting right next to me. It was like, I said, "You know what? I thought Fury won this fight by 2 points, or it could be a draw."
We've probably seen each other though. We've probably seen each other at some point. I've seen thousands of people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. Mr. Boxer today was there too. He was there. He was filming over there. Callum Nimitz was there.
From my part of the arena, what I was in, I was just like,
"Nah, you in Alabama. You ain't even there."
Let me comment to Low right quick.
Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, brother.
So Low, look, check this out. I'm gonna be real with you. I agree with everything you just did. Tyson Fury does not have that experience in big fights, right? Cool. I can accept that. But guess what though? If you notice what I said at the beginning of my statement, okay, I don't think he did himself any justice for the simple fact this right here. That's what you have your corner for. He brings it all these world class trainers, and he has a great corner. Nobody can debate he had a great corner for that fight. Okay, he had experience.
I can debate it.
Okay, I mean, okay, that's not what the chat is for today. He had experienced people in his corner. Okay, that has been in those positions in those championship fights, and I personally don't think they did him any justice by giving him a bad game plan to go in that 12th round.
Ben Davison, a young
wait, let Phil finish. Let Phil finish. Go ahead, Phil. Finish up, man.
I think they did him any justice by allowing him to go into that 12th round and almost get stopped. That's what your corner is for.
But Ben Davison young, Phil. Freddie Roach is an aggressive trainer. Freddie Roach probably ain't never told a fighter to go out and you know, shit, look at Amir Khan, you know, coast or anything like that. No. Freddie Roach ain't gonna do that. Ben Davison is a young boy too. You know, Ben Davison is young as well. You know, so
well, you know what? Maybe
it's the trainer's job to protect the fighter, and in that case, they did not do that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what? I think to be fair to Phil's point, maybe Ben Davison did tell Fury to stay away, secure game plan, but Fury got cocky, he got arrogant, and he got caught. I think that's probably what happened to him. So maybe that was one sense he didn't listen to his corner. You have to understand, sometimes fighters don't listen to their corner's instructions all the time. They don't do it. You know, Michael Spinks is notorious for that shit. So, but hey, it worked for him for the most part of his career. But the point is that I think it was a moment that he got caught. I think he got fooled by Wilder's feint with his, with his 1-2 feint, and then with the left hook that caught him, or the right short right cross, and then the left hook that dropped him. But the fact is,
send this fag, send Adariat, send him a link. Since he called everybody on here trolls, you send an email and get your punk ass on here. How about that?
That's all good, man.
Ben Davison's already spoke. Ben Davison said when Tyson was lying on the ground that the ringside doctors were making their way to the ring. Ben Davison says he tried to rush to the ring. He tried to step up a bit and he got pushed down by security. And he was shouting, "I know Tyson better than the doctors." So I think they were going to actually they were getting ready to get in the ring when Tyson walked up. Ben wanted to check Tyson, but the doctors wouldn't let Ben. Ben was shouting at the doctors, "I want to see Tyson." Interview on IFL.
So he thought he was out. He was trying to get in the ring as if the fight was already over when he went down.
I don't think he was trying to get in the ring. I think he was trying to move his still round so he could get a proper look at Tyson. But he couldn't get in the ring because the doctors, they were pushing him out of the way, saying that they were trying to make their way to the ring, outside the ring, to look at Tyson when he was laid down. They weren't trying to enter the ring. So if you look at the ring at the side, Ben Davison's actually having an argument with people at the side of the ring while Tyson's lying flat on his back. And Tyson's brother jumping chairs. Tyson's brother Shane jumps 2 rows of chairs to try and make his way to the ring. At the same time.
So I didn't know that. Wow.
He did try and get in the ring, but he tried to get over to look at Tyson, but they wouldn't let him look at him. They say that only the doctors are allowed to look.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, AA. Let me ask you this question. Do you think, and McGregor, you could chime in too, or anybody else? Do you think, let's be real. Tyson Fury didn't get hit that much, but when he did get hit, he got caught clean twice, a few times, especially ninth and the 12th round. Do you think those shots could have changed him a bit in a way? Do you think it's going to have some lingering effect on him going forward?
No, never. Tyson Fury doesn't get a head guard when he spars. Tyson Fury's been getting punched in the face off of Joe Joyce without a head guard on. He's getting punched in the face as part of boxing, and he doesn't spar without a head guard. He tries to roll shots, so he takes a few, and like he's been punched in the face loads of times, and probably like loads of people put Tyson Fury in their arse in sparring. They've got to wear the big gloves and the head guard.
He's been knocked the fuck out by David Price before.
True, that's true. He was in the amateurs, I think. But but you think? Let me rephrase the question. Do you think this could have slowed him down a bit? The fight? Do you think?
Nah.
I think with the type of mentality he might have, he might go with the idea that he couldn't keep me down.
Right.
And he needs to stay with that mindset then, because I feel like he could have easily won that fight if he just ran. Just like I say, Ortiz could have easily won his fight if he just would have just ran. Just run the last round. Don't engage. If he come close to you, tie him up like you did in the first round, you would have got that win. And a lot of fighters, they don't do that. They just put themselves in position to get hit. And he tried to duck a right hand, and he got hit on top of his head. That was the problem.
Can I piggyback a little bit off of what Dan was saying?
Yeah, go ahead, McGregor. Oh, go ahead.
Let AA finish what he was saying. Let AA finish.
Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead. Hey, finish what you're saying, man. Hey.
The 12th round, when he gets caught, he isn't ducking a punch and moving to the side. It looks like he's trying to sit on an invisible chair. He actually bends at the knees, and then his bum nearly touches the ground before he's been hit. Like, that's not a duck. The way he was ducking. Even if that hadn't hit him, I think he was going to touch the ground. He was already on his way down. His balance was already lost.
That's true. I think he was already down when he got hit with that right, and then the left just came in to kind of capitalize on it. I agree with you on that one, because Tyson was expecting. He was expecting a right hook to come in, a looping right punch coming in. He didn't expect the straight right to come in. He didn't expect that punch, because Wilder was throwing those looping rights all night. That's what he was expecting, and he got caught. So Wilder kind of tricked him right there. He figured it out.
Man, I think I can coach Tyson Fury to get this win, man. I'll tell him exactly what to do, man. I'm telling you, I will tell him exactly what to do, man. With Wilder get in close, just tie him up and spin him. You always got to spin him. You gain time, and then if the ref breaks you up, use the referee as a shield. Like, instead of Jack Reese just coming in and say, back up, what you're supposed to do. Did you see John Ruiz versus Roy Jones? You remember how every single time they clinched, he would use a referee and push him right in front of him. He would waste time. And then let's say you're in a late round. What do? Well, when Wilder is trying to set up, just feint. I say feint the middle round. Don't feint in the last round, because he's going to be much more desperate to hit you. In the last rounds, what you have to do, just keep moving. Just keep moving. A lot of people say, oh, they can't use the energy. It's all about the mind, people. Tyson Fury was moving like Kurt said, like Gene Tunney. He's 270 pounds, bro. It's all about the mindset. You don't need to be Ali to be moving around this ring like that. You know you got the win. Just keep moving. You're gonna get on the ropes. Don't let those Showtime rules to success fool you. Don't get on the ropes. You're gonna get to the ropes. It happens. You're gonna get hit. It's gonna happen. Yeah. Just put yourself
I would say both fighters are gonna make some adjustments going into the ropes. Both of them will.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's up, Bias?
What's up, Ahmed?
No, it's not Bias, not Ahmed. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Hey, I rewatched the fight, man, and here's another. The more I watch it, the more I just think AJ beats Fury as well, because.
Oh my God!
Hold on. Here, let me just explain.
Let him say.
Look. Where the thing is, Wilder lacks ring IQ, right? So obviously, you see the guy keeps slipping to his right. He's slipping your right hand. So you need a feint. And then, you could even touch his guard and then feint with the right hand and then throw a left hook, because that's where his head will be, and then a right uppercut, and then you could get him out of there. And I could visibly see Anthony Joshua doing that because that's his style of fighting, which is just combination punching, body work. So I could visibly see him doing that right now. And Wilder just, he doesn't possess the ring IQ to see this guy keeps slipping to his right. Let me feint the right hand, then throw uppercut because that's where his head will be. He doesn't think like that because he just doesn't have the ring IQ to put it all together. And it's not his fault, but he just wasn't developed in the right way.
Well, let me just say this. Hold on. I know, Phil, you want to get in. Let me say this, and Phil, you get in. Let me just say.
Can I get 10 seconds real quick? I'm finna
go.
Go
ahead. All right, real quick, bro.
Wilder couldn't get ring IQ if he subscribed to his motherfucking channel, and I'm out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you get your ass out, but it's all good, yo. It's all good, Lo. It's all good. But let me chime on what you just said, Darren Bias. You just said that you're convinced that AJ could beat Fury. Let me tell you something. Wilder moves faster than AJ on his feet. He struggled against Fury. What makes you think that AJ can get to Fury with his slow feet, man? I just don't see it. How can he get to him?
How can he get to Fury? I mean,
he get cut off, which Wilder can't do.
Yeah, I mean, he could also, he could cut off the ring and make Fury fight.
How? How did he do it? His feet is slow. He got slow feet.
He was doing it to Parker, and Parker has faster feet than Fury.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know about that, but
Parker's faster than Fury. Parker's faster than Fury for definite.
Wait, McGregor, you agree with that?
He's sneaky.
No, let me get AA or McGregor. Do you guys agree with that? Parker have faster feet than Fury?
No, AJ. I'll put it this way: if AJ had got in the ring on Saturday against Fury or Wilder, he would have lost against both of them. He wouldn't have got a draw.
I wouldn't agree with that at all.
He said,
Fury, but Wilder, he'll definitely knock out Wilder.
No, he ain't knocking out Wilder. First of all,
he'd knock out Wilder. And the more I think about,
let me say this. Hold on, guys. Let me say this. Styles make fights, okay? Second of all, AJ Styles, yes, he's a combination puncher. He's a good sound fundamental technical fighter. But he's too stationary and he's got slow feet and he lacks the head movement. His style is tailor made for Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you that.
No, it's not.
I completely disagree with that statement.
It is tailor made.
No.
You know what?
Yeah, but I say personally. Do
you know what? Your statement would make sense if Wilder was a good boxer, but he's not.
That's Dan. I'm not even trying to be funny, man. That's the truth. That right there, what he just said, that's the truth, man. Like he's not a good boxer, man. He throws punches sloppy.
Wait a minute.
He throws punches. Hold on, let me just say this.
Pavek is not a boxer. He got
what?
Pavek is not a boxer. He's no. Listen to me.
But Dan, what you have to realize is, Dan, Pavek is probably the only guy that I would say like 6 foot or 6'2" or below that can get inside a heavyweight and get inside cleanly. And I'm talking about a short heavyweight that can get inside cleanly. Stavern definitely can do it. Adam Kuhn can do it a little bit, but he takes punches to get in.
Yeah, let me
speak on something real quick.
Yeah.
You know, this is my whole deal right here, okay? You just said, you came on the chat and you're explaining why you think AJ can beat these two fighters, but you did not once say why you think these two fighters could beat Anthony Joshua, okay? But then the man just mentioned how AJ is a very, very, he's slow on his feet, you know. I think it is some truth to him saying that his style, Deontay Wilder's style, is tailor-made for Anthony Joshua. Now, granted, on the other hand, AJ definitely can box. I'm not going to take that away from him, okay? But on the flip side, you can make an argument of why you think both those fighters can beat Anthony Joshua, okay? So, I mean, this freaking, mirage of just thinking AJ is gonna come in and just box Wilder out of the water. I just don't see that.
Yeah,
happening.
Let me say this.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Dan.
Hold up, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Yeah,
and guess what? I will say this right here. I can make the argument if Deontay Wilder connected with Tyson Fury, he's definitely going to connect with Anthony Joshua. Let's just be real about it.
No, but you can't
No,
compare.
let me.
Julian,
No, you
without,
can't. Sorry,
alcohol.
bro. Let me just let me
wait,
respond to that. Let me respond to that. Let me
Okay,
respond to
Almighty,
that.
respond.
Okay, so this is the thing, and the way that I see that fight playing out is Anthony Joshua. Hold on, AJ gets, in my opinion, AJ's gonna get Wilder out of there early. That's my opinion. You know why? Because I mean, you guys say that Anthony Joshua has bad defense. Wilder's defense, I mean, he just backs up. He backs up. That's it. And let's be honest, AJ can definitely get and catch and get inside on Wilder. Why do I think that? Spilka did it. Molina did it. Gerald Washington did it. All guys that are not as good as boxers as AJ. So I think AJ will get him out of there early. That's my opinion. I mean, the reason why,
if John Molina can connect with him,
come on,
what do you think AJ's gonna do to him?
Let's be honest here.
This is my thing about it.
Okay, y'all dudes. Okay, first of all, y'all talking. Wait, hold up. You guys are talking like Wilder doesn't even have a chance against AJ. This is the problem that Phil have it right there.
He does.
Yeah, of course he does.
But what I'm saying is that first of all, you guys are trying to see that you guys are making it seem like AJ can fight is just as good as Fury can against Wilder.
No, I think he could fight just as good as Eric Molina or Spilka, if not better. I'm just being honest. Maybe. Bro.
Well, okay, I agree with you on that. But as far as Tyson Fury, no way in hell. That's a totally different.
Let me say this, Dan. Look, the thing is, when that fight happened, let's say when that fight was, you remember when it was announcing the fight? I think about a year or two ago. I think I personally had it around 60-40 for AJ because I seen like his intangible, his X factor is he actually has heart. He got up against Vladimir Klitschko and he finished that dude. I think he has heart. People say he doesn't have a chin. That was Dr. Steelhammer, bro. Who wouldn't go down against Dr. Steelhammer?
Exactly.
I know Brian Jennings did, but he probably has an underrated chin too. We just
also didn't Wilder get knocked down by some, I don't even know, some
it was
and also look at the comparison. Look at the comparison of fighters. Yeah, when John Molina first faced.
Yes, by the way, on boys.
Yeah.
And also look at the comparison. Look at comparison fights, barometer fights between them. Both similar fighters that they fought. Yeah, like when Wilder fought Molina after his first fight after he won the title, it took him 7 rounds and he struggled. Yeah. And let's put it this way: he was a part-time teacher at the time. Yeah, let's remember that he was a part-time teacher at the time. Yeah, since that fight, and they said, and because he'd done a good performance against Wilder, they made him fight full-time. They paid him money. He was getting proper training camps. He went against AJ, and what did AJ do to him? He put his ass out. Yeah. So end of the day,
of course he did, because Molina wasn't even trying. If you actually would be objective, he wasn't even trying in that fight. You really?
No, come on, man. He got his ass beat. He got beat.
Oh, no.
In 3 rounds. I think it was like 3 rounds, bro.
Let me tell you why. First of all, I got eyes. You guys got eyes. I know when a fighter is trying so hard. Molina wasn't trying hard in that fight like he was against Wilder.
No chance, man.
Well, no. Let me finish.
On, Dan.
I'll give AJ credit for the win. No, I'm just telling you. I'm being real. Hatman, who I respect a lot, Hatman commented on this, and he even agrees with me. He said that Molina wasn't even trying hard.
Then I guess Malik Scott wasn't trying with Wilder.
Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't.
Yeah,
of course he did.
Man. Malik Scott, he's the biggest trier in the entire world. Did you not see his fight against Ortiz when the referee literally had to talk him into continuing?
Yeah.
Of course not. Of course he didn't try against Wilder. I admit that. Okay, but the fact that Molina did not try against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua does deserve credit for the win, but I'm looked at 2 fights from 2 different perspectives. Molina tried very hard. He tried his best, but not against he tried against the old-fashioned Thomas Automac, but he didn't try against Anthony Joshua. I don't know why. I don't know why his demeanor was different, but it is what it is. But anyhow,
he felt the power. That's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because Wilder doesn't have the power. Yeah.
Okay.
Molina said that AJ is a harder puncher than Wilder.
That's his opinion.
Both.
Okay.
He's been hit.
That's what he said. Who else said it? Who else said it?
Hey, can I ask you guys something? What do you guys think about Fury versus Usyk? Who do you guys think wins that?
Tough one. Fury win that fight.
He's too big. He's too tall. He's too big.
He's got the reach. Yeah, Usyk can't get. He can't get underneath that reach. There's just no way.
I'm not even gonna talk about a fight that's never going to happen.
Never say never.
You never know.
Never.
Nah, man, link me. Look, if that fight happens, link me this fucking video, and I'll literally carve Fancy that into the side of my cock.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up with all these goddamn sexual comments, y'all? Don't be like Low Place, man. Come on.
Man, I don't know, man. That dude was on his fucking stream earlier, fucking like highlighting X videos and some amateur shit. I don't even know.
But that's Low Place.
Yeah, like, you know, there's somebody doing some boxing videos and someone's like posted a video of some big bum or something shaking. I was thinking, what kind of boxing show is this?
Man said bum. Man said the word bum.
Oh Lord. Let's get off that, man. Y'all. Oh man, but anyways,
back to what we was talking about. We was all saying that Wilder will lose to AJ. So what were we saying?
Well, let's just put it this way: that fight's not gonna happen. Well, as you know, we're gonna put some money on that down the line, bro. But like I said, man, with that fight ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
Why not? Because Wilder doesn't want it now. He talked all that shit. Now he doesn't want to fight Anthony Joshua.
No, he still want to fight him.
No, he wants to fight AJ. He doesn't want to fight Fury. Don't get fooled by what he's saying. He's saying he's talking up saying I want to fight Fury. He wants to, and he's saying Vegas because he knows that Fury don't want to fight in Vegas. He wants to fight.
Hell no, that rematch should be in. The UK, man. It should be in the UK.
Why? Fury came out a few hours ago and said he wants to fight in Manchester. He doesn't want.
Hell yeah. Yes,
I agree. Why should it be in the UK? Why should it be in the UK?
You got it already shows that the. All right, go ahead.
No. Wait, hold on. Why shouldn't it be in Ireland though?
In Ireland?
Why would he go to Ireland? Why would Deontay want to go to Ireland?
I mean, I don't know, because there's an 88,000 seat stadium that they would sell it.
Look,
okay,
that'd be cool.
Let me say this. Look, I don't care where the fights be. As long as the rematch is done, science still delivered. As long as both parties agree, cool. I'm cool with that. But the main reason why people are pushing for the UK is because of the whole controversy over the corruption of the scorecards. I get that. But let me tell you this. What about the corruption scorecards we had in the UK in the past? I hate to keep bringing this up. Junior Witter and Tim Bradley. The corruption on that one. Tim Bradley got the decision, but one judge scored a fight for Junior Witter. How the hell can you score that fight for Junior Witter? Everybody agrees that Tim Bradley won that fight convincingly against Junior Witter.
Well, what's a neutral country then?
He won that fight, didn't he?
He won it, but hold on. He won the fight by split decision, but everybody agreed he won it unanimously. How can you score that fight for Junior Witter? And look at what you call Terry Flanagan recently. Terry Flanagan and Maurice Hooker. Many agreed that Maurice Hooker won that fight convincingly, but one judge gave it to Terry Flanagan? You crazy?
What are you talking about?
They all won though, Dan.
No. I know that, but the point is, there's corruption everywhere. It's not just in the United States. That's
let me say this about AJ and
You asked me. No,
Dan, where's a neutral country then? Like a neutral.
Let me get to that. The neutral country, in my opinion. No. Hold up. Let me say this. The neutral country, in my opinion, I would say take it to.
Chicago.
Yeah, right. I would say take it to Dubai.
Yeah, there you go.
Dubai. Take it to Dubai. Take it to South Africa. Lennox Lewis fought in South Africa.
Who would tune in though?
Huh?
Who would tune in though? As far as if you look at the fight, would the people come? Like, you think they would come and sell out?
Pay-per-view numbers would be high.
No, I'm not talking about like actually the stadium and
Fury will take 10,000 if you put it in the moon.
Yeah.
This is my problem right here. This is my problem. I hear a lot of people, make points for one side of the spectrum. As Dan said, if you're gonna bring up a point, you need to bring it from both sides of the spectrum. You just can't say, "Oh, I think this will happen because of this," and you speaking just for the fighter that you prefer, or the fighter that you think you're gonna win, or the country that you think it should be in, or the country you don't think it should be in. The fact is, it is corruption on both sides. It's been questionable calls in the United States, of course, without a doubt. and it's been questionable calls in the UK. You know, fuck Jeff Horn and Pacquiao in Australia. I mean, it's just corruption whenever you go to a fighter's backyard and fight them. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I wanted to finish my point because I was trying to talk about AJ and Wilder, and I was trying to finish my point. I say that, you remember I said I had it like 60-40 for AJ at a certain point because when I saw that Vladimir Klitschko fight, I thought he had the heart to stand up against Wilder, even if he got knocked down. He has excellent finishing skills, but one thing I just do not like about AJ, he is I think he's really terrible at boxing in the center of the ring. He's terrible. I feel like when he's standing there and he just has to box, he's really bad at it. You can see Dillian White just picking him off. Oh
yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sorry, go ahead, finish your battle. Go ahead, my bad.
And that's why I just say, that's why I said AJ. Somebody should really send AJ like a footage of Riddick, like some really good footage of Riddick Bowe. Look at how he boxes in the center of the ring, and he doesn't have to take no big steps back, no big steps forward. I don't have to press you. Yeah, I don't have to press you. Yeah, I don't have to run. He's really bad at boxing in the center of the ring. I think Wilder would catch him. He would catch him at the top of the head. He would knock him down. And that's one of my biggest gripes with AJ. So
I have a question though.
Let me add on that. Let me add on that. Let me add on that one, guys, and you get back in. Let me add on that. It's a good point because we all are focused on Wilder's flaws. That's cool, but let's focus on AJ for a minute from an offensive scheme standpoint. Very good fighter, better boxer, better technical than Wilder. Absolutely. But his offensive flaws is, as Battle mentioned, is that sitting in the ring, he's not good at fighting sitting in the ring. And also, he's not good at fighting it from mid-range, from mid-long range, too. Because every time I've seen him long and mid-range, he doesn't know what to do. He's confused all the time. I saw that in the Parker fight. I saw that in the top fight. So, yeah, he's got to fight. He's very good fighting in close range. But as far as mid and long range, he's very confused. He's got to figure that out. It's like, dude, you got to figure out how you place the shots from that range. He just can't do it. I've seen that from AJ.
You know what? I just gotta say, didn't AJ stop Povetkin in the center of the ring? I'm confused. I'm confused.
It was
he definitely did.
No, it was not. It was a neutral. It was a neutral of the ring. Neutral part of the ring. But go ahead.
Biased, but let Edgenote speak. I think Edge was trying to speak.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Edgenote.
Was it Edgenote? I heard somebody in the background.
No, it was Phil. It was Phil.
Yeah,
Phil,
because I mean, all right, go ahead, Phil.
Go ahead. I'll go after you guys. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, because Anthony Joshua threw a jab to the body and then a right hand over the top and then a left hook in the center of the ring, and Povetkin fell, and then he finished him. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not understanding that.
That was not the center of the ring. That was not the center of the ring. That was in the corner, neutral corner of the ring. But go ahead.
You want to compare to somebody? It's the same thing you said when Arthur beat up. You said Arthur beat up is not good fighting back. Yeah, he has like 5 or 6 knockouts when moving straight back and not going to do it out. So if you look at the thing, when you look at how AJ fights, let's say when he knocked out Dillian White, when he first hurt him, he threw like a 1-2 and Dillian White blocked it. And I think he was too tired to try to weave under it, so he threw an uppercut. And he threw an uppercut and he wobbled him, and then he got him out of there when Dillian White he couldn't regain his senses. So when it comes to Povetkin, I think when he threw the jab and he threw the right hand, he was preparing to block it, and he still got hit. You remember how AJ got knocked down by Vladimir Klitschko? He was blocking the right hand, but he still got hit. He got hit at the top of the head. And then he went down. It's kind of like when Antonio Tarver knocked out Roy Jones. Roy Jones was actually braced for his left hand. He put up his hand, but it still got hit. It happens. But as far as that, I think he's really bad at fighting in the center ring. He's really bad at it.
You know, and I just want to bring up this point right here. You bring up that Vladimir Klitschko fight. And we talk about how, you know, Deontay Wilder doesn't have any technical skill. But it's one punch that he can throw very, very well at times, and that's the jab and the straight right. Okay? Against Vladimir Klitschko, okay, Anthony Joshua was getting caught at will by the jab and the straight right. Okay? That's the punch that put him, that's the punch that put him down. So this is what I mean when I say he's stationary and his defense is not good. Deontay Wilder can't catch him with that punch because, I mean, let's just be real. It's his most effective punch, almost his only punch in combination, and AJ can get caught by that. Vladimir Klitschko proved that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The reason why also that he got caught with that right hand because Vlad didn't telegraph it. He set it up well, and that's why he got clipped.
It's a veteran move.
Yeah, exactly.
They use their lead hand to like. Okay, if you're looking at like cross an orthodox fighter, your right hand is going to touch their left hand once you block it. So what they do with their jab hand, they'll use their hand to pull down your right hand. I mean, pull down your left hand, and then they hit you on top of. You know how like Lomachenko does the hand trap where he swipes down your hand and he hits you. That's what Vladimir did. He swiped down his hand to prevent him from blocking, and then he threw the right hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't see Wilder doing something like that because he doesn't have the IQ to do that. No offense to him.
Hey, look,
well, he could punch. He could punch on the top of the head, like Battle Rifle is saying, so that he could, in fact, knock out AJ if he did that. And also, if AJ comes forward, he's playing into Wilder's game.
He's definitely
because Wilder could just counter him all night, and then that fight's over, pretty much.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's just.
But look, I hear you just mention that about when two people orthodox. You just broke that down very well. But I think if you give yourself a slimmer stand, okay, and you're not so wide, I honestly think it'll be hard, to accomplish that. But that's all within your corner. That's just my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know what? At the same time, I'd love to say this fight's not gonna happen anytime soon. So again, we gotta focus more on that.
Hey, you saw that they're saying Usyk's next for AJ, right?
Yeah, I heard something about that. For April.
He's gonna get destroyed too. He need to stay at cruiserweight. That's all I'm saying.
So no, I think so too. Usyk, I don't think Usyk's gonna beat Anthony Joshua. I don't see it. He may give him a tough fight.
He got outboxed by Bellew, man. I was like, dude.
Hey, you gotta give Bellew his props on that, man. Usyk,
yeah, he was getting outboxed.
Usyk stopped him, but I'm being honest with you. I think Bellew.
I wouldn't say he was getting outboxed, but the first.
How many right hands?
He got outboxed. Let me tell you something. Bellew was going to the body and will. Bellew was killing him to the body.
You guys are over exaggerating.
No, I didn't give Usyk more than 3 rounds.
Bellew.
What?
I didn't give. Dan, did you give Usyk more than 3 rounds in that Bellew fight?
I gave Usyk. It was an even fight. I gave. I actually had Usyk winning by 1 round going into before the stoppage.
Are you really? Oh
yes,
me too. Usyk found his stride at like round 4, and then from there he just took over.
I couldn't. We gonna have to sit here and make a live stream where we're gonna have to sit here and make a live stream where we just break down the fight. We could count the punches actually being landed. Because that Bellew was landing the right hand at will. You could for that one round where I think Bellew was trying to circle out and he caught him again. I think Bellew was on the ropes. And then I was like, Usyk is lighting up in there. You know how the announcers is. And then they called the bell. And then the very next round he knocked him out. You can say for that round I can give it to Usyk. And then you can say the 3rd round you can give the Usyk, and then probably like the 5th. But other than that, I couldn't give him more than that. I couldn't. I really couldn't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, okay, to say as well as Usyk can box, Usyk definitely can box. Nobody would debate that. I personally think Tony Bellew outboxed him. I think Tony Bellew had a better game plan than him. I think Tony Bellew weight drop is what got him. He went into that fight flat. Okay, he was fatigued by the 5th round. If you go and you watch that fight, just look at Tony Bellew's legs as we get into those middle rounds. He's not moving the same. His feet look heavy. And I think ultimately that was his demise. I mean, you drop all his weight. Yeah. But at the same time, when you drop all his weight, your strength isn't there. Your stamina isn't there. And I think that's why Tony Bellew lost that fight. But when he was fresh, he was definitely outboxing Usyk, hands down. He was landing a right hand to the body, to the head with ease. Alexander Usyk should not go up and fight against Anthony Joshua. He is going to get destroyed. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I think he will lose to AJ. I don't know if he'll get destroyed, but I think he would lose. And I think he'll probably lose to majority of the top heavyweights.
Right.
But
since we're talking about it, can we just get people's predictions on Usyk Joshua since it is a possibility?
I got AJ by late stoppage, probably like the 9th or 10th round.
Okay.
I got AJ probably stoppage around 5 or 4 around there.
Yeah, I got AJ. I got AJ between.
Go ahead, Phil.
I got AJ between 6 and 9, and I think it'd be a stoppage to the body.
Good point. All right, who else? AA blunts, boxing the blunts.
I'll go AJ. I like Usyk, but I think AJ would catch him late.
Oh, you talking about Usyk? I thought we were talking about a lot of shit.
Yeah, we talking about Usyk. Yeah, battle.
I think it would probably be like a 7th round knockout.
All right, and McGregor.
I got Usyk stoppage.
All right, Usyk
stoppage 10th or 11th. Late stamina issues trying to keep up with Usyk. Usyk eventually drops him. Accumulation, and the referee ends up stepping in TKO.
Yeah.
So you going for the? He's trying.
No. 3 months ago, people were laughing at me when I said Wilder would win this by split decision on points by 1 round after dropping Tyson Fury twice. People were laughing at me.
No. That's not an upset, though.
That is actually an upset when the consensus was either knockout for Wilder or Fury by unanimous decision.
I know.
It was kind of it was kind of a from a what you call it, from a odd standpoint, it is somewhat of an upset. You don't know one wanted to fight, but whoever betted the draw, they won a lot of money. And I think this is one of the reasons why Floyd Mayweather was pissed off, because I think he bet a lot of money on Tyson Fury and he lost. Because that's why he was mad. But anyhow, I think whoever was upset was more of the odds. You know what I mean? So I mean, for me personally, I don't think I'm upset because I expected it to fight to go down the way it did. But my only prediction is that I thought Fury was going to get knocked out late. He almost got knocked out, but it is what it is. So that's the only prediction I had wrong. So. But can't wait. Look forward to the rematch, man. And Barry Hearn. Now, I saw that comment, McGregor, you sent me, man. Barry Hearn admitting that there was a $50 million offer on the table. So, and they rejected it. I wonder if Edge got something to say about that.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that. I think we should try and clear that up once.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just saying it was AA who gave me that.
Can I just say some people, mate?
AA,
Just everybody pause their microphone for 1 second, right?
And Joshua is kicking himself in the ass because he just seen Tyson Fury outbox Wilder. That could have been him doing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And guess what? He right now he be undisputed. But guess what though? He let Tyson Fury take the fight. I know they kicking themselves in the ass right now because Wilder did not well at all.
Right, and I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I think that what it is that they're shooting themselves in the foot in a way, because that could have been an opportunity for them to take the belt. They could have had, and here's the thing: Eddie Hearn's goal is to expand the Matchroom brand, right? Matchroom USA with the DAZN. Yes, I know there's been an argument over the broadcasting rights, and whatnot, but still have the fight taken on Showtime. Even if you took the fight on Showtime and won that fight, you would still have increased your American exposure with not only with AJ but with Stable as well. So they shot themselves in the foot for not taking that fight when they had a chance to do it. And shout out to you, man, because you're the one who posted that tweet that Barry Hearn admitted that $50 million offer was real. He rejected it. It was his decision, not Eddie Hearn's. It was his decision to reject it. So, Edge, you have something to say about that? He on mute. He ain't coming off.
Can I just say something for a minute? Because I want to try and clear this up. People get so confused. People seen Frank Warren get an interview, and he said in that interview, we were going to pay for that pay-per-view and we were going to show it on BT, right? For one, how many pay-per-views would AJ sell fighting Wilder in America, which that would have been tied to on BT? It would have sold about 500,000 pay-per-views in the UK, which is equivalent to about 10 million, right? So Frank Warren's going to bid $50 million to earn back $10 million. Are people even logically thinking about it? BT would buy the international rights to that fight. That's what they would do. They would make a bid on that, and it would be less than 10 million. So Frank Warren had turned in and said, we would buy that, but BT would only offer 5 to 10 million, because that's all you would recuperate. You don't bid 50 million on a contract to win back less. It's the same thing. Eddie Hearn, when AJ was meant to fight against Wilder, He gave an interview and said, we were going to sell the fight to Showtime, but we couldn't sell it to Showtime because Canelo's fighting Triple G on the 22nd and it's too close. But he said Showtime, he'd spoke to Showtime and Showtime wanted it in pay-per-view. He gave the interview, he sat there in a stupid-looking jumper and he says these words, we can't have it on the 22nd because Canelo's fighting Triple G the week before and it's too close.
I never heard of that before. I mean, I hate to stop you quickly. Yeah, but over here in the States, that's the norm because we have many great pay-per-view fights that's close within each other. So I don't understand why.
It was the week apart. It's because it was a week apart, and both of them would be Showtime, I think. They didn't want to do 2 pay-per-views within a week. So why he wasn't fighting Wilder on that date, and that's right. He came out and they went back and then they announced Povetkin. But he said in that interview that he'd already spoke to Showtime about selling it back to them, and he'd made Wilder a $15 million offer. So was he going to use the money for Showtime to pay Wilder? It's the exact same. You're just selling international TV rights to somebody else. That your the money that covers that fight will come for your own pay-per-view in your own country. So Frank Warren buying some of the TV rights for AJ versus Wilder in America doesn't mean BT were bidding the whole $50 million to buy a fight. People were confusing that and running stories, and it's stupid. It's like they can't even add up. It's no hard. It's no hard to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. But all I know is from my perspective and what Barry Hearn is admitting, that I think what it is that they're trying to long out the process as long as they can. And from the looks of it, they're waiting for Wilder or Fury at this point to slow down. They're waiting for them to fight each other as long as they can until the point that they're ready to take them for the picking and max out on it. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I look at it.
Did you already speak on Jack Reese already?
Who? Jack Reese? Talked about that already. I mean, it is what it is. It is. I'm not going to harp on that. He made the decision. I'm not going to argue against it. It is what it is, you know?
I mean, if people are going to be like that and talk about he shouldn't have, like he retired because, the thing is, you have people that are just okay with the Julio Cesar Chavez win over Mildred Taylor. So I'm just like, hey, man, you got to, if that's going to happen, you're going to have to allow that too.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, guys, I got to get off now, man. It was good to have you guys on. But shout out to you, AA, for coming in for the first time, and McGregor, Low Place, Edge Note, and Maddle. Unbiased. I know he was here for a minute, but he's gone. Shout out to you guys, man. Greatly appreciate it. We're going to continue this conversation further as it progresses, all right?
Yeah, man. Hey, let's do another show on the £50 million offer.
Yeah, we do, because you got Barry Hearn, and we're going to have to go.
I want to know, can I just ask Edge Note one thing? How can BT pay $50 million for a fight that they're going to sell on pay-per-view for 20 quid in the UK and make back maybe 10 million? Can you explain that to me?
Look, I can't explain it because the 50 million, the whole thing is a flipping publicity stunt. So the whole thing doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's BT.
No, but I'm sure I heard you say that Frank Warren was going to pay 50 million. That 50 million was coming for BT. I'm sure I heard you say that plenty of times.
Damn it, why does Dan have to go? Edge just opened himself up.
I said what Frank Warren said doesn't make no sense. Like,
wait,
hold on. Edge. Why did Barry Hearn literally on his own Twitter page say that the £50 million was a real offer then?
So did it say on his tweet? Did it say, oh, by the way, thank God I didn't look for 50 million real offer? No, it's not.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
It was real.
Go ahead.
He's saying it in a sarcastic way. It's not a way of saying, "Oh, actually, the 50 million is real 50 million."
Wow! Hats off to Tyson Fury. Great performance. So pleased AJ didn't accept 50 million to get robbed by the US judges.
Wait.
Eddie Hearn was asked, was the 50 million a real offer? And he said the 50 million was, but I was instructed that the fight had to be in the UK. That was his word, mate. He said that they rejected the 50 million because AJ wanted the Undisputed to be in Britain. That's why they made an offer back. They got a 50 million offer. They wanted to fight in Britain, and they responded by making a counter offer. That was his own words, mate. So you actually.
Actually, look, okay, let's look. You want to go into this? Actually, yeah. Look, we ain't got time to talk about it. We do another show based on this.
We'll
Yeah?
do it on
But that's
another
not
one.
what
We'll do
happened.
it on another
Yeah?
stream because I'll even pull up all the footage and then I'll run it side by side and show you what actually happened. Because you don't believe me unless you hear Eddie Hearn saying it. So I'll show you.
No. Because we've got the Showtime person saying it. How many people? So we have the Showtime person saying.
No. Edge, you're walking into a losing war with this one. AA has the.
It's impossible, mate. It's impossible.
Wait, let Edge finish, y'all. Let Edge finish. Let Edge finish. Go ahead.
We had Shelly Finkel come out and say, "Oh, let's not do offers in the media because if you're doing real negotiations, we do it in private." That's from Shelly Finkel. So if you do negotiations in private, then don't get Deontay Wilder coming out on Instagram saying it's in the bag, 50 million. Thank you very much. Good night. Bye-bye.
Well, here, let me read something real quickly here from JD in the chat. JD, and I like it, JD, man, but come on, man. He says here, look, admitting there was an offer doesn't mean it was legitimate. There was no proof of funds. According to Finkel, they didn't show her no proof of funds and they had the ability to do so. I take the first part of that as being a publicity stunt. Okay. Well, how does Barry Hearn? Why is this a publicity stunt when Barry Hearn, they had a match, admits that it was a real offer, it was legitimate, and they declined it?
It's like me saying Dan the man.
Hold on. If it was a fake offer, why did he say he's glad, AJ? Glad, happy he rejected. Glad.
Are you serious? Are you really thinking in modern day that people are actually going to come out and Finkel's going to come out and kid on that they made an offer when they never really, and Eddie Hearn's already come out and said they made an offer, we rejected the offer because we wanted to fight in Britain and I'm not saying look, but you're still going to say that offer wasn't real.
No.
Let's leave this for another show, guys.
Yeah? It's like me saying McGregor boxing, I'm going to give you a 50 million offer. Yeah, and then McGregor's going to go 50 million? What? That's a lot of money. I'm interested in the 50 million. Yeah. Okay, get back to me with the 50 million. Okay,
Edge, no. What does Edge no? Listen, what does the term edge note mean? What does it mean?
What's that got to do with the 50 million offer? God damn
it has a lot to do with it. Hold on, tell me exactly. Stop. What does the term edge note mean? Just say it. Say it so all the Americans know. What's an edge note? What's an edge note, man? Come on. What's an edge note? Tell everybody.
All right, £50. Okay.
Wait, it's 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
Your name itself stands for 50 pounds, not 50 million. If you were to say 50 million, I'd slap you.
But you don't know. You don't know. I got proof of funds. I know someone's got 50 million.
That's crazy.
I don't have 50 million, but I know someone's got 50 million.
You're saying it as if you're saying
I'm
it as
friends
if
with
you're
Al
asking
Haven.
proof of funds off of somebody who never had 50 million quid. Showtime have got more than 50 million quid. Like,
look, if you came to me offering me 50 million quid, right, I'd laugh at you. If I was getting an offer from Shelly Finkel for 50 million quid, I'd be like, okay.
Oh, yeah, but where did the offer come from? It came from Deontay Wilder's email account. Does he have 50 million in the bank, yes or no?
No, but he came out and said, Showtime already came out and said it was a real offer. Steven Espinosa said it was real. So how's it not real?
Oh, yeah, because Steven Espinosa, man, he wouldn't know anything about money, would he?
No, Steven Espinosa can't tell it's real.
It's not like he hasn't put on the biggest pay-per-view of all fucking time.
Of course, he's going to say it's real. The same Espinosa that said, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to work with AJ again because he left and went to DAZN." But then he came out and said, "Oh, we'll work with AJ again." Oh, like he said, "We'll never work with an app." And then he came out in an interview a few days ago and said, "Oh, we're going to work with an app now." Oh, really? That same Espinosa?
Oh yeah, Edge no, the same. Yeah, but Edge no. When it comes to Eddie Hearn,
Let Edge finish. Let Edge finish.
They're going to take Anthony Joshua off the app and put him on the Showtime pay-per-view. Of course, they're going to work with it. When he fights Wilder in America, it's not on DAZN, it's on Showtime pay-per-view, so they're going to work with an app, meaning they're going to take fighters off the app, put them onto their pay-per-view. That's all that's going to happen. Like, if you think, who's going to leave Showtime and go into onto DAZN?
This dude in the comments named A.L. Thomas McGregor is drunk to this day.
AL's cool, but come on, man. AO's cool, but he's saying Wilder set the offer, not Espinosa. No, AO. Wilder's team, his representatives set the offer. Wilder just confirmed that's all it is.
No. It came from email. It came from Deontay Wilder.
Oh yeah, he sent the email. No. He sent the email, but hold up, Edge. He sent the email, but as far as the logistics, the terms and conditions, the provisions, that's all set by Wilder's team. Wilder did put up the provision. They did that.
No, they arranged a meeting and they refused.
Oh, okay. Angela,
you're talking about people lying, right? And you hail Eddie Hearn, even though the other day, and you and me are privy to this, Edge, a person who works for Sky Sports told both of us that Eddie Hearn lies. Did he or did he not?
Look, we know that Eddie Hearn proves the truth. We know this. I'm not saying that everything Eddie Hearn says is the truth.
Crazy,
Eddie Hearn, like when he tried to sell me Selby and Kell Brook and said
right?
that was worth pay.
You want to no? Listen, you've been bringing up the integrity of people like Steven Espinosa and Shelley Finkel and stuff. Yeah, Eddie Hearn has come out and told you in the past that David Haye and Audley Harrison is the biggest fight in British boxing history.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't buy everything that Eddie Hearn says. But at the end of the day, I know when a bullshitter when I see one. And John Wilder's saying, "Oh, I don't do deals with no date and no venue," and then he does a deal. He does a deal with Fury with no date and no venue. I know when someone's talking shit. That's why what I know when Wilder talks something, he's talking shit. If Eddie Hearn says something, he's talking shit. That's what. But I have to call a spade a spade. Whoever says shit in whatever situation.
Well, it's hard for you to defend that Barry Hearn comment, bro. Can
I respond to AO in the chat who says that I'm drunk? Yeah, can I just respond to him? Yeah.
Go ahead, brothers. Respond.
Proper 12 whiskey. Go with
it. Hey man, I have a Captain Morgan's. I like Captain Morgan's, mate. I don't
you're mate. That's essentially like drinking wine in the whiskey world.
But we're definitely gonna have to continue this conversation another time for a debate. I promise you guys. Probably later today or tomorrow. Edge,
no, you on your Doc holiday, aren't you?
Yeah, Edge, Blunt and McGregor. You guys, if you guys want to set that up, we can definitely do that. All right. So,
cheers, man. It's been fun. Cheers, guys.
All right, it's been fun. Cheers, man. All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.